You're watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
From Tampa, Florida, welcome to the ReliaQuest Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania on this beautiful Monday inside the NFL home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got a really good matchup for you. Mississippi State out of the SEC and Illinois from the Big Ten. Two good teams worth celebrating. A massive void here today, though. The person who's not here with us, the head coach of the Bulldogs, Mike Leach, has been honored across college football this whole bowl season, particularly today in the pregame. The bands, all the tributes on the field, the fans, the players themselves. Captain Will Rogers, the quarterback for Mississippi State, the helmet decals honoring Mike. Will led his team out onto the field with a Mike Leach flag before the game just moments ago. A guy who is greatly missed here this afternoon in Tampa, that's for sure. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, Tiffany Blackman. Happy New Year. Great to have you with us. Rod, it was 3 weeks ago today that the college football world lost a true all-time great. Mike Leach died at the age of 61 very suddenly, very tragically. And there were some obvious questions about whether to play this game, not from the Mississippi State players, coaches, or Mike's family. They felt strongly that this was the way to honor Mike's legacy, was to have this game today. But no matter what happens on the field, we are always going to miss a true all-time great and a one-of-a-kind personality.
There's no question about it. For those of us who were lucky enough to know him off the field, he was more than just a colorful character with great quotes for the media. He was a guy who was a good man, who cared about people, incredibly curious, comfortable in his own skin, and he wanted to know your story. He wanted to delve into what your background was and find out about you. On the field, he was, in my opinion, one of the 5 most important figures as far as impacting the passing game in all of college football. You start with Sid Gilman, the father of the forward pass, the deep ball, and then Don Coryell's Air Coryell at San Diego with Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow, the deep ball to the tight end and the like. And how about Bill Walsh, just changing the game completely with the controlled passing game, the West Coast offense, short passes, running backs out of the backfield, and all of that. Then June Jones brought us the run and shoot. Quarterback in the shotgun, receivers moving and reading the defense in time with the quarterback, completely changing things. And Mike Leach and Hal Mumme giving us the air raid offense, the heck with the tight end, the heck with the running game, let the ball fly around, give the offensive lineman the big wide splits, and you have that. Then almost every team at every level runs some form of the air raid, either in part or in whole.
Well said. And we're going to spend a lot of time today celebrating the teams, 2 teams that have had really good years, but also the legacy and life of Mike Leach. For more on that, let's go down to Tiffany on the field.
Game was never a question for Mississippi State. Quarterback Will Rogers and his teammates, they told us they know how Coach Leach would want them to finish this year. So they'll be playing in this game wearing these helmets, which they got their first look at when they arrived to the stadium. One side says State, the other has this pirate flag with the initials NL on it. Guys, just a fitting tribute for their coach, who we all know loved Pirates.
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. And indeed, it just seems perfect. It wasn't planned this way, obviously, that we're playing this game in a stadium that houses a massive pirate ship. So here we are in Tampa. Mississippi State won the toss, and fittingly for Mike, they want the ball. The offense has to come out on the field first, doesn't it?
Couldn't be any other way, right?
Yeah, no kidding. So the Bulldogs will take the field first. And as we've seen from some other schools around the country throughout this bowl season, it's been very moving, I think, to witness all the ways coaches and players across college football have honored Mike and his memory. We're going to see something similar here today on the first play of the game. Both teams agreed that we'll have a classic, which for Mississippi State is not a stretch, classic Mike Leach formation, and there'll be a delay of game penalty taken and then declined. An on-field moment of silence of sorts.
For the players and the fans, another moment, another opportunity to recognize Mike Leach.
Delay, offense, penalty is declined, first down.
And now both teams, including the brand new head coach, Zach Arnett of Mississippi State, are going to try to focus on playing a football game. And that's what Mike's family said they really wanted to have happen today.
Not easy, but as we talked to Mississippi State players, they made it clear their focus was to do their job. They said that they knew that's what Mike would want them to do.
So Will Rogers, the record-setting quarterback for Mississippi State, on the field, and now the first play from scrimmage, a throw that was contested but caught along the right sideline for a completion of 8 yards on first down. Well, Will, who's so close to another 4,000-yard season, he's got a chance to do something no SEC quarterback has ever done, have multiple 4,000-plus yard seasons in a career. If he can get to that number today, straight ahead run. And they actually spotted the first completion a couple yards shorter than it looked like initially. So it was second and about 4. Now it's going to be third and very short.
Yeah, Will Rogers may be the most unique air raid quarterback for Mike Leach. He started as a true freshman, the only freshman to ever start for Mike Leach.
Yeah, that had never happened before. And part of that is, Mike's system is simple and also complicated, but it really requires a lot from the quarterback. The quarterback has a lot of responsibility. And Will took on that responsibility very young in his college career. A handoff on third and short. And I don't know if they got there. I don't think they did. They got to get to the 35, and that's going to be spotted short.
Yeah, it is hard to run inside on this defense. The Illini defense has some tremendous guys up front. Johnny Newton goes at about 300 pounds at one edge. Avery, 325 inside. Keith Randolph. They play a lot of the bare front where they cover the guards and the center. And not a lot of room to move out those big guys.
I mean, it is a fascinating matchup of two teams with totally different styles. And Illinois' defense had a terrific year. Now, they are missing some of their top defensive players. We'll talk about that as a part of almost every bowl game these days in college football. Now a penalty flag, and Mississippi State takes a delay. This one was not planned ahead of time.
Not coordinated. What do you think? Mississippi State 2 runs in the opening series. That's Will Rogers making that decision. That's not air raid.
He was joking with us. He goes, basically, if you saw a running play this year for us, that was me, because Coach Leach was not calling many running plays. Never wanted to call a run. Kind of a short, low line drive punt. And so now Illinois' offense will come on the field for the first time, led by their quarterback, Tommy DeVito, who transferred from Syracuse. Really ended up having a great year. A kid who played a lot of football for the Orange over the years, was a highly regarded, highly decorated high school quarterback from the state of New Jersey. Got beat up in his Syracuse career, frankly. Just didn't have a lot of protection from an offensive line that forced him to take a ton of hits. Came to Illinois and just blossomed.
He acknowledged broken ribs and a bad shoulder that he played through while at Syracuse. He's been better protected here.
So DeVito's going to throw the ball on first down and had a lot of time, just nowhere to go with the ball. Ultimately, Mississippi State's going to sack him. Sherman Timms gets credit for the sack, getting a start in place of Tyrus Wheat, a good player who's not on the field today for the Bulldogs. Some of the guys who are playing are Chick-fil-A impact players.
Yeah, Mississippi State on offense. Emmanuel Forbes, 6 pick sixes for that team already.
So the Bulldogs defense, Forbes there in coverage and took a hand to the face from Casey Washington. No penalty flag thrown.
Rudely interrupted what we're doing here. Jet Johnson, outstanding linebacker for them. Isaiah Williams will touch the ball an awful lot. And then Reggie Love steps in for the missing running back, Chase Brown. He will get a little help from Josh McCray, but it's going to be big for him to make some plays catching the ball.
Mississippi State's defense, maybe not quite as dominant as Illinois, but they had a good year, and they get a hand on the pass, deflected and knocked down. Incomplete. It's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, this is a Mississippi State defense that, runs that 3-3-5 defense that was originated by Joe Lee Dunn and Rocky Long. You know, they're moving around an awful lot. 5 defensive backs, a little bit undersized, but they are active and aggressive.
Maybe the second most notable pass deflection for Randy Charlton this year. He knocked down the 2-point attempt in the Egg Bowl victory.
Yep.
Mike Leach's final game and win as a college head coach. Big win for the Bulldogs. So back-to-back 3-and-outs. The punt will bounce out of bounds. And Mississippi State will have the ball when we come back to Tampa. Hey, they got the ship out on the water, huh?
Not too shabby,
Leach's presence is everywhere here today. Comes on the field for the second time. A proper introduction for their record-setting quarterback, Will Rogers. Rod mentioned how he started as a true freshman, first one in Mike Leach's career to ever start as a true freshman, and he started every game since for the Bulldogs. Third last year in passing yards in all of college football, almost 4,800 yards. He's passed the great Dak Prescott, most yards and touchdowns in Mississippi State football history, and he told us he's coming back next year.
How good is that, huh?
Which, you know, I didn't see any news about it. I hadn't heard anything. Anybody asked, maybe somebody else had asked him about it, and we were sitting with him and we said, so, did we miss something? Are you coming back? Are you going to the NFL? He goes, no, I'm coming back.
There was nothing posted on social media like you see these days where he says, I'm coming back or whatever.
Yeah, is it even official if you don't post it with some big celebration? Will Rogers is coming back. Imagine the numbers he has a chance to put up for his career with another full season if he stays healthy. He's going deep here on 2nd down and 4. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Let's go down to Tiff.
Yeah, guys, he's not into the big flashy announcements as you were just talking about, and we got a sense from that just sitting down with him. He's not flashy about anything. He just happens to be a really down-to-earth guy that is really, really good at playing that quarterback position, guys.
Well, Flem, he's going to have to play it well on his 3rd down. He's going to face a very aggressive defense, a lot of man coverage, and a safety sitting in the hole.
Illinois missing some top players, missing their coordinator, who's now the head coach, Ryan Walters at Purdue, but also with a lot of talented guys left. Rogers will throw short. That pass is caught, and with that little move forward, I do believe Mississippi State gets the 1st down. That's Tulu Griffin.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense, Illinois missing some guys. I mean, some real big-time players. Devin Weatherspoon, you know, who was in the running for the Jim Thorpe Award, one corner, is not here. Sidney Brown, outstanding safety, also isn't here. And they've been down a couple of corners, so they are looking at 3 freshmen playing their corner spots today.
Witherspoon has a legit chance of being the first defensive back taken in the draft. He's that good. This pass across the middle is completed right around the mark for another 1st down, and it will be another 1st down, this time Justin Robinson.
Yeah, and these young corners will get tested today. They play a lot of man coverage, and they play a lot of man coverage with inside technique. And so you'll probably see Will Rogers try to get the out-breaking routes and deep routes, not as many inside throws against those guys since the corners are sitting inside.
1st and 10 Bulldogs, 2nd possession of the game for Mississippi State. Jaquavius Marks, who in his own way has been a record-setting running back for Mississippi State, a lot of times catching the ball out of the backfield. He takes the carry here and gets 5 yards.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Marks is a matchup problem for them. You know, when Marks comes out of the backfield as a receiver, he's going to be matched up against a linebacker. And that is something that I would expect Will Rogers to look for early and relatively often.
His teammate Dylan Johnson was really good 1-2 punch out of the backfield this year for Mississippi State. Has left the team. Is in the portal. This pass incomplete. Intended for Robinson again, and it sort of clanged off of Robinson, hung in the air for a dramatic moment.
Yeah, you know, this air raid offense gives you a lot of short passes, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of mesh where receivers come from opposite sides of the field and almost bump into each other. But they also give you the 4 verticals where they send 4 guys deep, and that's unusual for a lot of teams.
3rd and 5. Austin Williams came in motion. Rogers kind of looking his way, and the pass is incomplete. Williams couldn't find it. It was hanging in the air in the neighborhood, but Williams, I don't know if he looked up into the sun or just got turned around. It's 4th down.
Yeah, he had a tough time initially getting away from Matthew Bailey, the safety who took him when he came off the line of scrimmage. And again, really aggressive man-to-man coverage. Right now, they're feeling like this is their identity, and they see no reason to step away from it until Mississippi State shows that they can beat them.
Number 1 is now number 94.
Zach Arnett, Rod talked about his history as a defensive coordinator, disciple of Rocky Long. That defensive style has done a really nice job in Starkville the last few years, and there wasn't much question about who was going to take over for Coach Leach. Zach Arnett, first-time head coach, coaching his first game. A punt for the Bulldogs, and Illinois will have the ball when we come back to Tampa. Great host site for this ReliaQuest Bowl.
The ReliaQuest Bowl is brought to you by ReliaQuest. Make security possible. And Capital One. What's in your wallet?
The most literal of all of the traditional bowl game activities, bowling. A visit to Busch Gardens, out to Clearwater Beach. Illinois players don't have a lot of opportunity to work on their tans at home. So it's a good chance here leading it. Both teams been here for about a week.
Yeah. How about offensive coordinator Barry Lunny for the Illini said Beach might not have been a good idea. They saw how big the Mississippi State players are.
I mean, this is an Illinois team that plays in the Big Ten. It's not like they're not used to big-time football, but he did say a couple of his players made comments about, man, that SEC group, they look pretty powerful. Handoff for a short gain on first down. By the way, before we went to the break on that punt, George Georgopoulos, the Mississippi State punter, I think the Bulldogs really felt like there should have been a flag thrown here.
Yeah, they've got a good complaint there. That looked like running into the kicker.
No penalty was thrown, so Illinois has the ball, 2nd and 10 with Tommy DeVito, their quarterback, on the field for his second series in this first quarter. The defenses have dominated so far. DeVito throws across the middle into traffic, and that pass is caught. Dangerously so. Tip Ryman, the tight end, with the catch. Penalty flag on the field. Illinois, among all the players, they are missing one of their top tight ends. Luke Ford is no longer with the team. He's not playing today.
Face mask. Defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty.
Jalen Green gets called for the face mask penalty for Mississippi State.
Yeah, right at the end here. You see Jalen Green got the face mask. You know what? I remember a few years ago when I first saw Tommy DeVito play, I wondered, is he related to Danny DeVito? He is not. He is not. Although, you remember the character Tommy DeVito from Goodfellas?
Sure.
Yeah.
Both Danny and Tommy are Jersey guys. Both very proud of it. Nice quick hitter out to Isaiah Williams, who's the big playmaker for the Illini on the outside. A catch and run for a nice gain, first down, Illinois.
Well, and he's the guy that's going to have to touch the ball an awful lot. He's the most dynamic player on this offense. Isaiah Williams, 72 catches on the season, and he is great after the catch.
Yeah, a lot of them look like that or like this. There goes Isaiah Williams again, this time much shorter than the 23-yard gain, just a couple on first down.
How about how much he's progressed in just 2 years as a wide receiver? He was a quarterback. They moved him to receiver, and he is outstanding. I mean, his change of direction will leave guys in his wake.
Top 5 in the country, number 1 in the Big Ten yards after the catch for a receiver. So it tells you how dynamic he is once he gets the ball. Reggie Love in the backfield alongside DeVito. Love gets the carry here and down to the 30 for a gain of about 5 or 6.
I'm curious to see how well they run the ball without Chase Brown. You know, Chase Brown was, I believe, 2nd in the country, 1,600 plus yards rushing. They really depended on him. Now we'll see a fair amount of Reggie Love. Josh McCray, who is the big back, will also get some touches, but a lot of pressure on Reggie Love to replace some pretty big shoes.
Barry Lunny told us, play them both early, kind of see how it's going. Pitch to Love on 3rd down, cuts it straight ahead and gets the first down. Looked Chase Brown-like with that run.
He is built low to the ground, hard to tackle, and he just keeps his legs churning. You see, low to the ground, look at the legs, just keep driving. It's about 205 pounds.
For an injured defensive player.
That's Colin Duncan, who I think took the hit from Reggie Love at the end of that play. Started to get up, and now he sits back down. So an injury timeout here in Tampa. First quarter, still scoreless. Hopefully Colin Duncan's okay. We'll be back right after this.
First advice, elope. Just eliminate all the family input aggravation.
I mean, I completely hate candy corn.
I hope there's Bigfoot. I don't think there is.
Sprees in a box, outstanding. You have to go to the dollar store to find it, but I do. And then if you go chocolate, probably Almond Joy.
There just was nobody like Mike Leach.
Yeah, and he was serious about those positions. Eloping, he told his receiver, Austin Williams, who's engaged, you should elope.
Throw across the middle, wide open, a penalty flag throw, and that play doesn't count. So nobody could hear the whistle, apparently, because Illinois just kept on going.
Yeah, I think it was a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 54, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that just drives you crazy if you're the coaching staff for Illinois, because you game plan this entire month to find a way to get Williams wide open like that, and you get it, and you get a false start.
Left tackle Julian Pearl, part of a really outstanding Illinois offensive line. First penalty of the game. And it's 1st and 15. Josh McCray in for the first time in the backfield. McCray gets the carry left side, and he will be forced to the edge and pushed out of bounds. Camrion Richardson from his defensive back spot helped get him out of bounds. Josh McCray is a big, strong dude, has been hurt most of the year.
Yeah, 235 pounds plus, powerful. He's the big back that they were looking to have most of the year, but as you mentioned, he was banged up. They want to see what he has today. He'll be back next year, so they could be set at running back.
Yeah, a little bit of an audition for him in this game. He splits out to the left. DeVito throws short right, and that slot receiver Isaiah Williams straight upfield gets the penalty yardage back, plus 1 or 2 extra. It'll be third down.
DeVito won't be back next year. Surprisingly, the NCAA declined his request for a waive for an additional year. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, the Big Ten approved it. The NCAA declined it, so he's going to get ready for the NFL draft. He was disappointed, though. He told us he really was looking forward to coming back and playing one more year with the Illini. So it's 3rd and 9 for Illinois inside the Mississippi State 25. Pressure comes up the middle, and DeVito goes down. So the pressure came for the Bulldogs, and they got there. Nathaniel Watson, the #1 tackler in the SEC. Randy Charlton was there as well from his defensive end spot.
Yeah, they brought the 2 backers, Page number 16 and Watson 14, and just watch inside. He's coming in, and then you also get Page 16 coming, and it causes confusion. The left guard decides to take Page, and that opened it wide open for Watson.
So now Caleb Griffin out on the field for a long field goal try. 52 yards coming up. The snap and hold. The kick is on the way, and it is no good. So a nice drive for the Illini, and yet no points on the board.
Seems like he had plenty of leg, just couldn't get it to pull inside.
Brett Bielema was telling us this is a good stadium to kick in. So he would be willing to let his kicker try from longer out. And that was a 52-yard attempt, no good. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Brett Bielema has done such a terrific job at Illinois. Best season the Illini have had in a long time. Will Rogers back on the field, floats one right side. That's complete to Lou Griffin for a catch and run. Mississippi State first down. Brett Bielema had a close relationship, the Illini head coach, with Mike Leach.
Yeah, you know, Mike Leach, David Cutcliffe, and Bielema were a threesome. He said they were hanging out on trips, fishing trips in the Keys, and stayed close throughout the years. And in fact, he spoke to Leach a few days before he passed.
Rodgers, all kinds of time, throws it short, and that pass is going to be, I assume, incomplete. Nobody said anything on the field. It is incomplete.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Wow, the true freshman Xavier Scott from the state of Florida, who played great against Michigan late in the year. What a big hit from him.
Yeah, 5'11", 185 pounds, but he hits like a 225-pounder there. Perfect timing. Shoulder wrap up. That's a really good tackle.
Well, maybe he's going to be the next Devin Witherspoon.
Maybe. You know, he's getting his opportunity today along with Tyler Strain at the other corner.
Second down and long. That throw is also incomplete. Trying to hit Griffin again.
Yeah, see, those inside routes are really hard to run when the coverage is man-to-man inside technique. You have to fight over the corner to get inside. It's almost impossible to do when the technique is played correctly. The easier path for Mississippi State is to throw the out-breaking routes and to throw the deep route. That's a harder route to cover when you're playing inside technique.
So far, this Illinois defense is really holding up against the Bulldogs' passing attack. It's 3rd and 10 from near midfield. Rodgers in the shotgun. Pressure comes immediately. Rodgers gets away for a moment. He's going to throw short, incomplete. Now that must have been a miscommunication along the front, because there was an unblocked rusher for the Illini right away.
Yeah, a little bit of an overload on
Illinois
the far side.
Is now
You'll see it comes from the
94.
far side, and then on the near side, someone just completely forgot about Keith Randolph. And how do you forget about Randolph? Because he is a big-time player.
I mean, Illinois really, truly believes Randolph and Newton together are as good of a combination along the defensive line, especially bigger interior style guys, of any team in the country.
Well, they're 1st and 2nd in the Big Ten in tackles for losses. They make impacts from their edge.
They call them the law firm, those two. Now another bit of contact in the backfield on the punter. There is a flag thrown. The punt was received inside the 5, no fair catch, and returned outside the 10. Let's see what this penalty is. Second time in a row, George Georgopoulos has been knocked down, punting the ball away. It was 4th and 10, so it matters what kind of penalty this is.
He wasn't blocked into him, was he?
No, I don't think so.
There is no foul on the play for roughing the kicker, because the receiving team player was blocked into the punter.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were right. I was wrong.
Yeah, you'll see this right at the edge. Here comes the block. Just enough of a push to put him there. Yeah.
I guess that counts as enough.
Yeah. Now, the first one, which wasn't called, there was no such issue. No blocking or defender. Probably should have been called, but not that time. That was the right call.
Final 3 minutes of the first quarter, dominated by the defenses. Mississippi State's defense back on the field. Illinois moved the ball effectively last time they had it. Just didn't score. Handoff straight ahead, and not much room there at all, although nice powerful push from Love to at least get a yard or two on first down.
You know, the theory about attacking this defense, this 3-3-5 aggressive Rocky Long style defense, is really to be powerful. You know, to use 2 tight ends, to run at them, to create that extra gap, make it hard for them to cover all gaps. But so far, not a lot of 2 tight end sets for Illinois. Notice how long the defense waits to get its call.
DeVito, a little pump fake, and then throws to nobody. So that play just got blown up. I think Emmanuel Forbes was a big reason why.
You know, when you see 13 out there for Mississippi State, you just look the other way. I mean, it's just too dangerous to throw his way. He has 6 pick sixes in his career, three this season.
play today. He's going to get drafted by the NFL. He's had a great career, but he wanted to play. 3rd and 8. Just a 3-man rush for the Bulldogs. DeVito, incomplete. A rare inaccurate delivery from Tommy DeVito intended for Pat Bryant. It's 4th down.
Yeah, miscommunication. You had Bryant curling in, and you had DeVito throwing out. He's got time here, but just the miscommunication, behind him. So we haven't seen Illinois get into a rhythm yet in any way, shape, or form. I expect some sort of a tweak the next time they get the ball.
Illini have 43 total yards. Mississippi State has 50 yards. This is the 5th punt of the first quarter. Somewhere Mike Leach is disgusted.
Yes, he is.
Booming punt is going to send Griffin back around his own 30. Very dangerous return man. One of the best in all of college football. Ahead to the 40. 54-yard punt and a 9-yard return. Sunday, 2 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. The FCS championship game. The Dakotas, North Dakota State, the Bison, and the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. Bison, defending champs. They've won 9 of the last 11 FCS titles. A true dynasty, but South Dakota State beat them this year in Fargo. They're the #1 seed. Can they win the championship?
Is there an FCS championship game if you don't have North Dakota State?
It is truly incredible, the success they've had. Multiple head coaches, all the personnel turns over, the success stays the same. Rogers flips it to Griffin, coming across the formation, and Griffin just didn't have much room. That was, again, Scott, the true freshman defensive back, making a nice play.
So Steve Spurrier Jr. is calling the plays from the sideline for Mississippi State. As you know, Mike Leach always did that, had the folded up paper with just a few plays. But his quarterback, Will Rogers, has the freedom to change plays at the line of scrimmage.
And he does it a lot. And Mike really trusted Will to do it effectively. And he gets the pass caught. A juggling catch. Rufus Harvey, nice play. He was wide open, and he had to reach up, tip the ball to himself, 1st down.
Yeah, in this offense, against this defense, the matchup is to get your good receivers on the safety. That's Quan Martin, a safety, working against a wide receiver. That's a matchup that Mississippi State wants as much as possible.
So into Illinois territory inside the 40, 1st and 10. Rogers. Yeah, with all kinds of time, and now it's just going to go down. He's a lot of things, Will Rogers. He is not much of a scrambling quarterback.
He missed Harvey, 82, running free down the middle of the field. He couldn't see him, but had he spotted Harvey, that would have been one of the easiest touchdown throws of his career. Completely wide open.
That doesn't happen very often. You mentioned Steve Spurrier Jr., who is the offensive coordinator for this game. We asked Zach Arnett, the new head coach, whether he had decided on an offensive coordinator, and he said no, he really was focused on the bowl game. He hasn't decided on a defensive coordinator. So we'll see if there's some news after this game.
He had
about
a few things going on that they had to deal with getting.
He did.
Through the memorial service and keeping the team together and some recruiting, all those things.
Signing day was right in the middle of all that.
Yep.
And then your first practices as a head coach leading up to this bowl game. That looked like a blown play, and Rogers kind of improvised, ran an option and pitched it over to Marks.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Made something out of nothing there on the final play of quarter number 1. No points on the board on either side, although the Bulldogs, Mike Leach's Bulldogs, on the move. All the tributes on the helmets and in the stands today for this ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa.
There's a time there, right when we took a knee where, I thought about my dad, thought about Coach Leach. It's pretty special when you can win one of these games, and you certainly wish you could share it with them. But, you feel their presence, you really do. And it was, it was like you said, man, it was an old-fashioned shootout and something he would have got a kick out of for sure.
Really just right after TCU's dramatic win against Michigan in the semifinals, Sonny Dykes thinking about Coach Leach and his dad, and he and TCU will take on Georgia, the national championship game presented by AT&T on Monday. Coverage begins 1 week from today, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Coverage all day. Mike's son Cody, graduate assistant coach for this Mississippi State team, is here today. You imagine it's a very tough day for Cody to be on that sideline without his dad. Just a great young man, very valued part of this staff in Starkville. And the Bulldogs facing a 3rd and 6. Rogers across the middle and a nice delivery. First down and more. That's Austin Williams with the catch for a Bulldogs first down.
Yeah, you see the working against the linebackers who have man coverage, and Austin Williams just slips behind Barnes, and you'll see more of that. You sort of get the sense that this month off has not been really good for both of these offenses, and now they're starting to get a little bit of traction.
Austin Williams, the SEC Football Scholar Athlete of the Year. He's had a 4.0. This will be his final game. He's had a 4.0 GPA every semester.
Wow. At
Mississippi State. And he's had a great career. Throw over the left side. That one complete to Justin Robinson on first down for a gain of 6.
Austin Williams is the young man who is engaged. Will get married in April. Said, no doubt, Mike Leach told him, just elope, man. Don't go through all the planning.
Austin did not follow Mike's advice on that front. Top 5 all-time Mississippi State history in terms of catches in his great career. Marks in the backfield alongside Will Rogers on second down. That throw is complete. Big hit again across the middle, but that'll be enough for a first down. Nice catch from Rufus Harvey.
Working on the safeties inside there, Kendall Smith, number 7, and Quan Martin, number 21. The more experienced players in this defense. Missing Sidney Brown. Yeah, Sidney Brown, you see him in that Northwestern game? He had 2 touchdowns, a pick 6, and a scoop and score.
Illinois had more interceptions, more takeaways than any defense in all of college football this year. It was a signature for them.
They tend to play a little bit more picket fence down here and not man coverage.
That one is thrown right to an Illini defensive back, and there's another Illinois interception. It's Matthew Bailey at the goal line.
You mentioned it. That's what they do. They take the ball away. And I believe Will Rogers was thrown off of it because they play so much man everywhere. But when they get into the red zone, they go away from the man and give you a little bit of picket fence zone. So he thought it was man. You got number 2, Bailey, sitting right there, not moving with the guy, and it's an easy pick.
Only 6 interceptions all year for Will Rogers, but he didn't have to face Illinois. That's their specialty. Our first points of this ReliaQuest Bowl, but Will Rogers threw his first red zone interception of the whole year. How remarkable is that? 22 touchdowns, no picks in the red zone all year until that last one. So Illinois gets the ball back. Let's go down to Tiff.
Hey, Matthew Bailey was on the end of that thrown ball, so we had that game possible touchdown saving play there for Matthew Bailey, who continues to get handshakes around the sidelines. But he's one of these younger guys that they expected to step up today, and Quan Martin told us about that. He said that Bailey, he's been coaching him up, and so much that Bailey's even been correcting him at times in practice. So you know Quan's got to be happy with the young guy there.
Yeah, he did. He specifically mentioned Matthew Bailey as a true freshman who he thinks has a chance to be one of the next great Illini defensive backs. Williams gets another touch and a nice gain on first down. Matthew Bailey, who has now 3 interceptions on the year.
Oh, they've developed an identity and a style on that defense over there. Aggressive, man coverage, and, you know, dropping in a little bit of zone.
Completion out to the right side. That's Casey Washington, who got pushed backwards, then went forward again, and with that extra effort gets the Illinois first down. some of that identity, we're still talking about the Illinois defense after they come up with the takeaway, was their coordinator Ryan Walters, who now is the brand new head coach at Purdue, deservedly so. Brett Bielema very intentionally, though, groomed Aaron Henry, who played for Bielema at Wisconsin. Was a great defensive back there, has been a coach with Brett for a long time, to be the new defensive coordinator, and this is his first game coordinating that defense. They expect the success level to remain. Nice moves by Reggie Love, who got to the outside and gets 12 yards and another Illinois first down.
How good is that? You know, a little jump cut to get to the outside, to slide along. He's patient. He doesn't force it when it's not there, and feels it to the outside, sees it. Great vision there. Learn a little something behind Chase Brown.
Chase Brown, more than 1,600 yards this year, All-American running back. Not playing in this game, but Reggie Love with an excellent run there. DeVito in the pocket. Now looking to run. He'll throw short. That's Isaiah Williams, who gets another catch and run first down into Mississippi State territory.
You know, Tommy DeVito's had the best year of his career. You know, the 4 years at Syracuse, he described those years to us as a roller coaster. You know, banged up some, you know, but an up and down season. But he set career marks in just about every statistical category this season at Illinois.
Completed 70% of his passes, one of the best completion percentages of any quarterback in the country. Very efficient. Josh McCray in the backfield alongside DeVito. Play fake to him. DeVito throwing deep right sideline and incomplete. Out of bounds. Pat Bryant was somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah, great coverage over there. I would expect to see
for an injured defensive player.
A few more shots down the field at the safeties, not so much at the corners.
Jordan Davis, defensive lineman, down on the field. 10:54 to go, first half. Still scoreless in Tampa, and we'll step aside and be back right after this.
The College Football Playoff National Championship, TCU, Georgia, January 9th on ESPN.
All right, back here in Tampa, where Zach Arnett's Mississippi State defense on the field, Illini on the move. Scoreless, 10:54 to go until halftime. Jordan Davis, good defensive lineman, always scary when it's sort of a non-contact injury. That's what it looked like very end of the play. You can see him grab toward that left knee area. Help Jordan Davis off the field. Hopefully he's okay. Handoff on second down. Down to the 45 for a gain of a couple yards to set up third and long.
Yeah, it is tough sledding inside. Cameron Young, 93, sits on top of the center, nose guard. He's 315 pounds. You want to block him, pack a lunch. Be there all day.
Yeah, big dude. Jaden Crumedy, who missed most of the year since he's been back, has really helped that Mississippi State defensive line. Illini 1 for 4 on third down so far in this game. It's 3rd and 8 here. Part of the field, Rob, where we may be thinking 4-down territory.
Yeah. Bowl game in particular. Have some fun. Roll the dice a little bit.
Williams came in motion. DeVito steps up. And now is going down. Back close to midfield. Just had nowhere to go with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the coverage downfield was spectacular. I mean, they brought 6 guys to pressure the quarterback, but the coverage behind that was amazing. You saw DeVito come up, clutch, and look like, well, I can get rid of the ball. I got time, but there was no place to go with it.
Yeah, Watson gets credit for the sack, but you're right. It was really the DBs because the pressure was initially picked up. He had plenty of time. Loss of 4. That's the 3rd sack already for the Bulldogs. And it forces a punt. That one's going to bounce inside the 5 and into the end zone. It crossed that goal line. Oh, so close. It was a really good punt. Just couldn't quite down it at the 1. That'll be a touchback. So the Mississippi State offense comes back out. While we have a moment, we'll check out the Bowl Challenge Cup standings brought to you by Progressive.
How much of an impact do you think the opt-outs have on this? Because you look at these numbers and, you know, Big Ten's doing well, Pac-12, SEC, once again, like last year, losing records so far.
Yeah, the SEC has struggled in some of these games that, this one doesn't qualify, but some of the games that fall before the big bowl games around New Year's. SEC has tended to have more than their fair share of opt-outs. Lots of draft prospects on those rosters, understandably so. I think it has impacted those standings. That pass was deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it'll fall incomplete. Maybe Johnny Newton got a hand up and knocked it down. Mississippi State, by those standards, actually has most of their players on the field today.
I think that's right. Yeah, just a couple guys. But this front for Illinois, I mean, it's big and powerful, and they're making life difficult for Will Rogers.
2nd down and 10. Rogers, again, just nowhere to go with the ball. Now he's going to scramble and run and head for the sideline. He did not want to take a hit. Somebody on the sidelines took a hit. Tariq Barnes was in pursuit. Illinois, more opt-outs for the Illini. Both Browns, Witherspoon not playing. We mentioned the tight end who's not with the team anymore, Luke Ford. The injured defensive back, Taz Nicholson, who's a really good player, can't play in this game.
And I was looking forward to seeing their secondary with Sidney Brown and Devin Witherspoon, because they were fantastic all season long. As good as any secondary out there.
So now 3rd and 6. Jaden Wally came in motion. That pass is caught. And that's Wally, who came in motion, went across the middle, went into a slide, and picked it off the turf.
It's a smart play. They got him matched up against Kendall Smith, the safety. I'm sorry, it was Quan Martin they got him matched up with. And, you know, safeties aren't as good in man-to-man coverage as corners. Nobody has 4 guys who can play man-to-man coverage.
Handoff on 1st down. And a gain of a couple yards outside the 35.
I mean, you're lucky if you have 2 good corners that can play man really well. If you get a 3rd one to play that nickel spot, you've got a great secondary. And asking your safeties to play wide receivers in man coverage all over the field is really asking a lot.
It'll be the challenge for Aaron Henry, I think, going into this offseason for the Illini, the brand new defensive coordinator, to try to figure out, do we have the personnel to play that style again next year? Another pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. It's at least 2, maybe 3 of those already in this first half. This time Calvin Avery got a hand up.
Well, Avery and Newton and Randolph. How come Avery isn't part of the law firm?
He hadn't made partner yet.
You know, they call it Newton and Randolph, but Avery's a huge part of it. Take a look at their new defensive coordinator, Aaron Henry, 34 years old. He said he's been with Brett Bielema since he was 17 and was recruited.
He said, I interviewed for the job starting at age 17. That's how long he's known Bielema. He feels like he's really ready for it. Rodgers rolling left. Will Rogers going to heave it down the field, and a jump ball interception. Another takeaway for the Illini. Kendall Smith came away with the ball.
How good is that? I mean, this team just takes the ball away over and over. Kendall Smith gets to play that safety spot, roaming the middle when they're in man-free coverage. He's 20 yards deep. You can't even see him here. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback, and he's being taken to the ball. So he has an opportunity to make a play.
Illini had more interceptions, 22, during the season than any team in the country. They've got 2 already in the first half today. Well, it's the best year Illinois football's had in a long time. First 8-win year since the Rose Bowl team back in 2007. They started the year 7-1. Rose as high as 16 in the AP poll without a lot of expectation coming into the year. 3-game losing streak. Some of that very understandable with the difficulty of the schedule. They hung tough. Man, they easily could have won that game at Michigan. Michigan, of course, was in the top 4. They beat Northwestern to finish the regular season. Finished 2nd in the Big Ten West. Just narrowly missed out on a spot in the Big Ten championship game. They're in a bowl game for the first time since 2019. They've only had 4 9 or more win years in the last 70 seasons.
Wow.
They have a chance to win their 9th game here today. It's been a great year for Brett Bielema's team. Mississippi State's defense trying to match the Illini defense.
You know, you think about their season, I think if they could have 2 games back, the loss to Indiana would be one, and the Purdue game, they had chances in that game to win. Those are 2 that I think they feel like they should have had.
And maybe a program that took a huge leap forward, wasn't quite ready to leap into that true upper echelon, but it could be happening in front of our eyes. I mean, Illinois feels like they are set up for long-term success. Talent level's been way upgraded. DeVito's going to throw across the middle, and a nice delivery. Isaiah Williams into Mississippi State territory, and it's tough to get him down all the way to the 38. That's a 41-yard gain.
Well-designed play. Get him in the slot. Get him on the safety. Again, he's on Colin Duncan. That is a mismatch. That's a great job of creating the matchups that you want to get a big play.
Now, that guy was a former quarterback. He has found his home.
He's got great hands.
6 catches, already 93 yards receiving in this first half. He's been the standout. This one is complete left side. That's Casey Washington, who's been heavily involved. No Brian Hightower, one of the other top receivers for the Illini today. He's banged up and not playing. Casey Washington's made an impact.
Yeah. You know, they need more of that. More throws on first down. So they can stay ahead of the chains. They are getting stuffed on first down when they run it.
Tight end in motion. A play fake, and they'll throw it to the tight end. That's Ryman, who maybe the need wasn't down. They never blew the whistle, so he kept going. Nice extra effort from the sophomore from Rapid City, South Dakota.
Timeout for an injured defensive player.
Uh-oh. Is that Emmanuel Forbes?
It is.
Standout player who decided to play in this game, even though he's going to the NFL draft after this, and we just hope that he's all right.
Yeah, he said that his friends and family reminded him, you finish what you start, and that's why he decided to play in this game.
Just has had a great career.
An unbelievable career.
Super kid to talk to. Big personality. So that extra effort there. That is sort of strange. What happened at the end of that play? His shoe came off also.
Yeah, I can't tell. He's grabbing that lower left leg.
He is up now and putting some weight on the leg. So hopefully for Emmanuel Forbes, there was some pain and a jolt, but nothing too serious. Whether we see him in this game again, I don't know, but he has a chance to be a high round draft pick. He's that good.
Talented corner, great man-to-man cover skills, great ball skills with all those picks, 14 in his career. You know, he'll probably put on a little bit of weight, get a little stronger, but he's got that length with long arms. He can really play.
He was a baseball player and was going to have Tommy John surgery, and so decided to just stick with football. He couldn't play baseball in college. There's Jordan Davis, another banged up defensive player for the Bulldogs. He's going to the locker room.
Yeah, Forbes was an All-American in 3 sports in high school. Wow.
Hard to do. Handoff straight ahead, big hole, and a nice run for Josh McCray to get down close to the 10-yard line.
A little trap inside. You know, this style of defense, the defensive linemen don't line up in gaps. They try to disguise where they're going, and sometimes with a little trap play, you can catch them. They typically line up over a lineman, and then they move to the gap. So if you can catch them, you can get something inside like that.
Good long drive for the Illini. A little pistol formation. Handoff McCray to the corner, and that was well defended. Jet Johnson, who is coming back to play another year at Mississippi State. He didn't want to make a big deal about that, but he's coming back. He was a top 5 tackler in the SEC this season.
Will Tommy DeVito be on the move here? Roll him away from a little pressure? Give him a run-pass option?
And maybe get the ball again to number 1. Isaiah Williams is having a big first half.
He is dynamic.
2nd and 9. They are going to give it to Williams. They pitched it forward. Williams finds a crease and gets down inside the 5. Man, that is just, he is so shifty and nimble in traffic.
I'm not sure if it's the right comparison, but he reminds me of Deebo Samuels when he was at South Carolina. The way that he's used and the ability to run like a running back and to catch like a receiver. He is so versatile and great
on the field as the runner was short of the line to gain. It's 3rd down.
That counts as a reception because the ball was tossed slightly forward. So that's his 7th catch. He's already over 100 yards. I don't think it's a bad comparison the way they play, although Deebo's probably a little bigger, heftier.
Yep. That should be a running play. Shouldn't count as a pass.
3rd down here. DeVito's going to try to sneak it. Got a push from behind, and he definitely got the 1st down inside the 2.
That can't be comfortable when you get pushed from behind like that.
Teams do it all the time. It's legal now. I don't blame them for doing it, but it does have to hurt.
Yeah. You're getting tackled in front, and then you get pounded by your own guys, hitting you in the back.
Oh, now that's great to see. Emmanuel Forbes already back on the field.
Yeah. He told us, you know, he loves the game, loves playing, and he was going to finish what he started.
He's matched up against Isaiah Williams over on that left side for the Illini. 1st and goal. DeVito in the shotgun is going to hand it to the running back, Love, who got through the initial hit, but not the second.
This is where I would expect him to use Josh McCray, the bigger back at 235 pounds. Now, see the penetration? Good cutting inside. Crumedy gets into the backfield, number 94. He blew up that play right at the start.
Now that's where Crumedy makes such an impact. He doesn't always have to get credit for the stats on a play, but
oh, he made that play. He blew that play up.
But now it's 2nd and goal. This time DeVito's going to keep it. Tommy DeVito, touchdown! He wants to go out with a bang in his college career, and he gets the first points of this bowl game in Tampa. It's 6-0 Illini.
Sometimes you have the right call. You catch the defensive line slanting a little bit away from the run, and you got your guys in advantage. He just cruises into the end zone. Great call in that situation, or great planning to know which way to run that.
10 plays, 77 yards, almost 5 minutes on that drive, and the DeVito touchdown run. Caleb Griffin with the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Well, the Illini come up with another takeaway, get the ball back, and turn that into points.
Points off of turnovers. Big play by Kendall Smith to get his setup, and the quarterback playing his last game gets his first touchdown of the game.
Late 2nd quarter in Tampa, and the Illini have the first points of the game. Illinois with a 7-0 lead over Mississippi State. Well, tonight, one of the best games of the year in the NFL. First things first, did you remember that it's Monday today? The holiday time, it gets a little jumbled.
Yeah, I was thrown off.
Monday Night Football tonight, the Bills and the Bengals, 8:15 Eastern on all the platforms, ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, on the app, ESPN Deportes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, just a terrific game.
That's a pretty good quarterback matchup, don't you think?
Two of the best. Pat Mahomes has had such a great year, too. Can't wait to watch that one.
How about that Washington State flag, huh?
Yeah, we got the old crimson flag here from Pullman.
Wazoo making an appearance in the house. Of course, Mike Leach spent, what, 8 years at Washington State?
Great success in Pullman. This one's going to be a touchback. Kind of surprising that Tulu Griffin didn't return that one. He's been so good this year as a return man. Our unbeatable performance is brought to you by Xfinity.
Yeah, and the start has been really, really good for this defense. You know, a couple of takeaways already, 2 picks by the Illini defense, and when they need offense, how about letting Isaiah Williams get it done? He's got 7 catches already for 101 yards, and then finishing off that drive was the quarterback, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, really impressive. I'm missing 2 future NFL players in the secondary. The Illini, 2 of their very best defenders, not playing in this game, and you wouldn't know it. Just playing great, making it real tough on Will Rogers and a high-flying Mississippi State offense. That short pass complete to Marks out to the 30. Plenty of time for the Bulldogs with all 3 timeouts, 2.5+ minutes.
Yeah, the month-long layoff, I think, has hurt this Mississippi State offense more than anything.
In the pocket, Rogers is going to throw again, being pressured. Got the pass complete. That'll be a Mississippi State first down and much more along the sideline. Man, that was nifty. Justin Robinson got away from the would-be tackler and made that into a 25-yard gain.
6'4", 220-pound redshirt sophomore. Watch the tightrope. Nicely done on the sideline. He is a big target. More crossing routes. Crossing routes are really difficult if you're playing man coverage. Hard to chase that guy across the field.
That was the longest play from scrimmage for the Bulldogs in this game, and now a run play on first down. Marks with the carry. Keith Randolph made the tackle. Under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, when Will Rogers audibles to a running play, he's looking at the box, the area closest to the line of scrimmage, and counting the defensive players. If he has more blockers than there are defenders, he checks to a running play.
Now a trick play coming for the Bulldogs. I think trying to throw the ball. They'll throw it to Rogers along the sideline. There was a receiver toward the goal line who was wide open. Him.
Completely wide open. Justin Robinson was standing back there with his arms wide spread saying, "Throw me the ball." Look how wide open he is. He has nobody within 15 yards.
Well, I mean, it's Jaden Wally, the receiver, who was the, quote, quarterback on the play. So it's hard to blame him, but
I bet he made the throw in practice.
That had a chance to be a touchdown. Instead, it's a completion to your quarterback. That's kind of cool. Rogers will throw middle and almost another interception. Trying to get it to Tulu Griffin. Incomplete, and lucky that it was incomplete.
Yeah. Illini doing a nice job of mixing up what they're doing. They have linebackers inside zone coverage there, not man-to-man coverage. Every now and then they throw the tweak in there, and it catches Rogers off guard.
A quarterback who's probably as good as any in the country at diagnosing what he sees.
Yep.
Hey, Will Rogers, really smart quarterback, but he was having some problems in this first half. Looked right, throws left, and Justin Robinson gets thrown backwards.
How about part of that law firm? I mean, that's Newton, the lineman, getting out there making that play on the perimeter.
Timeout. Mississippi State, their first. 30 seconds.
So a timeout for the Bulldogs coming up on the TikTok halftime report. Who will rule the Rose Bowl? We still get the Rose Bowl to be played today, so it's just a great day of football, college and NFL. College football playoffs most compelling champ game yet, perhaps. Reese, Dez, David Pollock live from Pasadena getting ready for that Rose Bowl. They'll have the TikTok halftime report for you.
You know, Utah spoke about unfinished business because they were in the Rose Bowl last year and lost that game. And I think they're sufficiently motivated, but this is a Penn State team that hasn't played in that game since when? They played USC a few years ago and lost the Rose Bowl.
Well, it was a great Rose Bowl that day. 1:01 on the clock here, second quarter. Mississippi State on the move, but now facing a 3rd and 10. So this is a very big play. They're 3 for 7 on third downs in this first half.
They've got 2 downs here. I'm not sure they'd try a long field goal, but they've got 2 downs and a minute to go here.
Place kicking has not been a strength for the most part for Mississippi State. It's gotten a little better late in the year. Rogers takes a snap. Will Rogers will throw middle. That pass is caught down to the 20, and the tackle there still 3 yards short of the first down. That's Jaquavius Marks. Clock moving, and we'll see what Zach Arnett wants to do, the brand new head coach.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't used Marks more out of the backfield. He is a matchup problem, particularly when you get the Illini playing man coverage.
Now they are going to go for it. They've let a lot of time tick off the clock. They haven't used a timeout, so even if they get it, then you're going to be in a spot where the clock will be somewhat of an issue, and maybe they're not going for it. Maybe they're going to take this all the way down.
They're burning a bunch of time.
Play clock down to 3. And now they will call timeout.
Timeout. Mississippi State. Their second. 30 seconds.
So Zach Arnett will presumably now send the field goal team out and try to get some points on the board in this first half. 7-0 Illini with 13 seconds to go here in quarter number 2. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, great to have you with us. Happy New Year to you. Obviously, so much leading into this game about the Mississippi State head coach, Mike Leach, and his absence and what the college football world is doing to honor him. We've seen a very spirited game here today, and I think you got to give Illinois some credit for being totally focused on the task at hand.
Well, yeah, I mean, you really have to be impressed with the way both teams are playing hard. There's no question about it. I think clearly the month layoff has hurt both offenses, but the defensive play has been outstanding. We've seen some tremendous stuff, and the motivation. We had both teams tell us winning a 9th game is really important and doing their job. Each player trying to make sure that they would do their job today.
Massimo Biscardi, 38-yard field goal try coming up here. And the kick is on the way, and that one is good. So it's points for the Bulldogs. Definitely not the first half that their offense was looking for, but Zach Arnett with a little clap for his place kicker.
Well, it gets you on the board. Sometimes all you need is to break through, and then things start to work out for you. But right now, defensively, both squads are ahead and dictating. We've seen a couple of matchups that the offense has been able to create, but not that many.
And look, the trick play worked to some degree, but it is impossible to not think, yeah, if the ball had gone to the right player on the trick play a few plays ago, the Bulldogs would have been in the end zone, because that was there for the taking.
It was wide open.
9 seconds on the clock, so you figure just a squib type kick here. Illinois didn't use their timeouts in that last sequence, so they'll probably be content to go to the locker room. The Illini are going to get the ball to start the second half. Speaking of the Rose Bowl, last time Illinois had a 9-win season was that Rose Bowl team in 2007. That wasn't as competitive of a Rose Bowl as the Penn State one you were referencing.
Yeah, that one was fantastic.
Kick is going to bounce all the way down to the 15. And a nice move to get to the outside. Reggie Love is the guy to return it all the way outside the 40. But that will allow the final seconds to tick off the clock. So that kick return took a while.
Second quarter.
Good effort. But the end of the half here in Tampa.
I think we'll see a little bit of an adjustment in the second half. And, you know, on the Mississippi State side, I'm expecting them to get the ball a little bit more to Jaquavius Marks. Saw him out of the backfield that last series. I think those are matchups that really work.
Before the teams are headed to the locker rooms, Brett Bielema was asking, though, I mean, the return was good enough to where you could consider a Hail Mary play.
Does he believe the clock was off and there was another second left?
I think he's asking. Some of the Illini players are already in the tunnel.
That's the end of the second quarter.
Okay, so I guess we decided that is the end of the quarter. It was close. The Illini coaches.
Illinois is challenging the ruling on the field that time expired during the previous play, which is under review.
I mean, some of the staff members for the Illini were screaming towards the tunnel, get back out here, and Brett Bielema wants to use a challenge.
How about that competitive spirit? Like, if there's 1 second, I want it. Challenging that.
If this were at the 25, he probably wouldn't be doing it, but because the return got all the way outside the 40, I think it motivated the head coach for Illinois to have him take a closer look.
Yeah, and you know, Will Rogers has a strong enough arm to make that throw from about the 40. I'm sorry, Tommy DeVito.
And watching the clock there synced up, I mean, I think there's definitely at least a second remaining, and maybe 2. So I think he's going to win this challenge.
Yeah. Oh, I just admire the competitiveness. A lot of guys would have just said, 1 second into the half. Let's go into halftime.
After further review, the runner was out of bounds at the 43-yard line with 2 seconds on the game clock. It was 1st and 10 Illinois, and they are not charged a timeout.
So 2 seconds on the clock, a chance to heave one and see what happens.
Yeah, that's really your only choice. You don't have enough time to run a play and get more yardage and then try a kick. You got to take your shot here.
Man, Tiff was all set up for the interview with Bielema. She was down there on the field in position, ready to go. She got yelled at. The players got yelled at.
A little dry run for her.
Man, she is going to be so ready once this half finally comes to an end.
I mean, has she had any sleep the last couple of nights?
We should give some kudos to Tiffany Blackman for her hustle to get here for this game after being in Phoenix for the Fiesta Bowl and that scene. Sleep tomorrow. They're handing it off. So after all that, it's a handoff. Oh, my goodness.
Now it's the end of the second quarter.
And a little sense of humor.
Was that worth all the effort?
Adam Savoy, our referee. I like referee humor. Now, that's the end of the second quarter. So the teams can safely go to the locker rooms. Tiffany will get set up again. Just a delay of a minute or 2. Illini are going to get the ball to start the second half. Their defense played so well. Isaiah Williams played so well, and Tiff is down with Brett.
Coach, a touchdown run by Tommy DeVito. He joked you guys might cut him loose in this game. What more do you want to see from him in the next half?
Well, he's been cut loose. Now he's got to cut it loose, right? So I think our guys played a good with a false start, penalties, mental errors in these early bowl games. When we get going to first half, we should play a lot cleaner in the second half.
2 interceptions by your secondary despite missing some key pieces. How are they able to be effective?
Our DBs, they play with energy. They very aggressive mentality. They believe every ball is theirs. I thought our defense playing well. We just got to capitalize on those opportunities.
Thanks, Coach.
And thank you, Tiffany. It's halftime. Brett Bielema's Illini with a 7-3 lead. TikTok halftime report coming up right after this.
Welcome to the TikTok halftime report. Capital One Bowl Mania.
And welcome back to Tampa and the ReliaQuest Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania, as we get ready to start the second half. A first half dominated by the defenses. We'll see if the offenses can get them ramped up. Illinois with the 7-3 lead over Mississippi State as we get ready to start the third quarter. Our performance update is brought to you by Tax Act. And the number is pretty even on both sides, really. Not much rushing attack. Teams were able to throw the ball a little bit. The 2 turnovers stand out, probably the biggest difference in the game. First time in his career, Will Rogers has thrown interceptions on consecutive drives. That's what Illinois does. They take the ball away. The Illini defense very impressive. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, Tiffany Blackman back with you here from Tampa. Well, we heard the Illinois head coach, Brett Bielema, say to Tiffany at the end of the first half, okay, the rush should be off. The second half's going to be a little prettier.
Yeah, where's the offense? I mean, yeah, there's a month layoff, and that's an issue. I do believe that Mississippi State has to try and push the ball down the field more. I mean, they're getting this man-to-man coverage, and they're being shut down in the short passing routes. They're going to have to push the ball down the field a little bit more. I expect to see that early in the third quarter.
Yeah, not easy to do against Illinois. Their defense, super impressive. The Illini defensive performance all year has been outstanding, and being tested against a good SEC offense without some of their best players on the defensive side of the ball. You have to be impressed with the way Illinois is playing. They will get the ball to start the second half, and the kick return just outside the 20-yard line. Let's go down on the field to Tiffany.
Hey, guys, we know how direct Coach Zach Arnett is, and when I talked to him at halftime, nothing changed. He simply said, we're losing, we got to play better. He did give me an update, though, on defensive end Jordan Davis, who we saw injure that left knee during the first half. He said he's probably going to be out, guys, so a big blow to that defensive line for them.
Yeah, that's too bad. He is sort of, Zach, the classic. He's very different from Mike Leach. He is the classic defensive coach. I mean, you get him talking about some other stuff. Right. He's got a great personality. He's a really nice guy, but He's pretty tight-lipped when it comes to the football stuff.
Yeah. He's had a lot to deal with in his first 3-4 weeks as a head coach.
Tommy DeVito's going to look to throw the ball on first down, and he'll throw it deep down the right side, incomplete.
Yeah, more throws like this on first down, Flynn. He had a little check down he didn't take. Probably should have taken it to create a second and short.
He's getting caught up in the let's let it all hang out for Tommy in his final college game.
Yeah.
Cut him loose.
Yeah, he was very honest about his time at Syracuse and, you know, being beaten up and not protected. He said that was really big for him during the recruitment out of the portal that, you know, he was told, we will protect you. And it's worked out well for him.
Yeah, Brett Bielema, that was sort of his line to Tommy DeVito was, I guarantee you we're going to take care of you in terms of your health. We're going to do everything we can to keep you from taking all those hits, and they've done a great job of that this year.
He is much better in my estimation with his footwork as a quarterback, which has improved his accuracy. You'll see at times he climbs the pocket a little bit better than he did when he was at Syracuse. I think this offense makes it all that much easier for him. He doesn't have to throw it 60 times.
3rd and 10 for Illinois. Mississippi State's defense has played well in this game, even with the struggles of their offense. DeVito, lots of time across the middle and a perfect delivery. Then the ball comes out. I think that's going to be ruled as a catch and then a strip and a fumble. Pat Bryant had it. Sean Preston comes up with the ball. Mississippi State, for the moment, thinks they've come up.
Ruling on the field is a catch, fumble, and recovery by the defense. First down, Mississippi State.
Okay, so that's the ruling on the field.
And so replay will take a look at this, and they will look at whether he made a football move after the catch. Did he have time to make a move? I counted a step. I'm not sure he got a second step in.
Previous play is under further review.
That's a close one.
Yeah, I think if he had had a second step, got that other foot down, I'd call this a completion. But this happens on the first step. I think that's going to be an incomplete pass. That looks incomplete to me.
I really have made it a personal policy not to guess with the replay officials, but I think I'm with you.
After what we saw in the semifinals with the Michigan non-call, the touchdown taken off the board, I'm okay with guessing because sometimes they're wrong.
Yeah, you're right about that. So they're taking a look up top. Mississippi State's defense under Zach Arnett has been known for takeaways. Illinois, we've been highlighting their takeaways this year. Nobody was better in the country than the Illini, but Mississippi State's done a really good job in that regard themselves.
Yeah, you know, both of these defenses are very aggressive. Different style, you know, because Mississippi State runs the 3-3-5 and they move around their defensive linemen, but they're both from the school of let's be aggressive, let's get after the line of scrimmage, let's attack, and let's place the man on the backside and mix it up.
Well, they had a lot of good looks at it. My guess is that it's not going to be a fumble, that it's going to be an incomplete pass. But this is not a totally easy one.
Yeah, the amount of time that they're taking would suggest that they're also looking at time of clock and where the ball should be, all that kind of good stuff.
After further review, it was an incomplete pass. It's 4th down.
Yeah. So it is 4th down. Mississippi State's going to get the ball back, but it will make a big difference in terms of field position.
Huge difference. Huge difference. We'll get a chance to see when Mississippi State gets the ball whether they have tweaked their plan. You know, they have a tendency to really throw short, but that really hasn't been available. I mean, they've been eaten up on the defensive side by the short coverage, the man coverage. You know, push the ball down the field a little bit.
Hey, you got Tulu Griffin as the kick returner. He's been so dynamic for Mississippi State in his career. A lot of good kickoff returns. This time a booming punt and a fair catch made back at the 25. So that's where the Bulldogs offense will come back on the field after a 53-yard punt. Tonight we wrap up the New Year's 6. It's the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential. Number 11 Penn State, number 8 Utah. 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app.
Has Cam Rising decided what he's going to do? I don't think he's announced.
He has not. Cam Rising said late in the regular season along the lines of, I'm really going to enjoy my last game at Rice Eccles. But since then, when he's been asked about it, he has essentially said he has not committed one way or the other. So who knows? Maybe his last game as the Utah quarterback. That pass was thrown a little behind, but still brought in by Jaden Wally for a completion.
See how aggressive the Illinois defensive backs are on these short routes? They are all over these guys. They are daring them to take them deep, daring them.
2nd down and 4 after a 6-yard pass play. Rogers throws it short again, and an open field tackle at least a yard short of the first down. Caleb Ducking with the catch.
One of the things about this defense is, they normally keep their free safety. There he is, Kendall Smith, number 7, about 20 yards deep, so that he has the range and the depth to help in single coverage.
A little closer on 3rd and 1. They run the ball, and Illinois was ready for that. They stopped the Bulldogs well short. Johnny Newton, another good play. The hometown kid, he's from here in the Tampa-St. Pete area, and Mississippi State's going to have to punt the ball.
Yeah, Johnny Newton, number 4. And then inside you've got 93, Avery. But look at the pressure off the edge from number 49, Seth Coleman. But it was up front with Newton and Avery that eliminated any hole.
Coleman's an outside linebacker. Illinois' coaches said he might be the fastest player on the field for us, which is pretty remarkable. Low end-over-end punt, and it's going to bounce and roll inside the 25 down to about the 22. So far, second half more of the same. Both defenses playing really well here today in Tampa, Florida. We'll be back right after this.
Coach Leach impacted so many people. I see friends that are going to be my friends for the rest of my life who share this philosophy of living. I see people that I've never met that also share this philosophy of living. We're all related in our relationship to Him. So here's to a truly impactful life.
Well, some powerful and wise words from one of Mike's former players, Gabe Marks, at the memorial service a couple weeks ago, which featured a who's who from the college football world, present and past.
Like 8 of the 12 SEC coaches showed up for that memorial service.
And many, many others from around the world of college football. To honor the great Mike Leach, whose team is trailing 7-3. Illinois gets the ball back, and a handoff. Reggie Love with a nice run straight ahead across the 25 out to the 28-yard line.
We all have stories of Mike Leach over the years tweaking us or, inquiring about things that we do. He used to give us a lot of grief about wearing a tie to call a game.
Well, in that regard, I didn't always agree with everything that Mike said, but I'm with him on that one.
Yeah, he used to say, "Do you ever wear a tie to watch a game? Why are you wearing one to call a game? You go home and turn on the TV and you put a tie on. You don't do that." I'm like, listen, it's above my pay grade, but you're right.
Now, what a great tribute to Mike that would be for all of us television broadcasters going forward to just implement that policy.
Agreed.
I'm going to propose that. A little dump short, and Reggie Love makes a man miss. Emmanuel Forbes, who's back on the field, couldn't get the tackle, so Love gets an Illinois first down. It's been really heartwarming to see all of the tributes across the rest of college football. Coaches, Dana Holgerson, Eli Drinkwitz, Chip Kelly, teams putting helmet stickers, TCU and Georgia both in those playoff games with Mike Leach stickers on their helmets.
People recognizing and embracing his love of Pirates.
It's kind of an easy way. You see that symbol and you think of Mike. That's McCray. So they did not get a first down on the Reggie Love catch and run, but now they get a first down.
Yeah, and McCray's the big back of this 1-2 combination. 235 pounds. Powerful runner.
Illinois on the move here. The Illini First and 10. Couple of tight ends in the game, which happens a lot with Illinois. Power football team. They throw to one of those tight ends. That's Michael Marquez, who gets tripped up in Mississippi State territory, but a nice first down gain.
Yeah, just a fake block, and then he's unaccounted for. Once the tight end starts to block, everybody ignores him. Then he just slips out to the left. Yeah, nice little drive going here for the Illini.
Sixth play of the drive here. DeVito hands it off. And that'll be another Illinois first down.
We're seeing a little bit more of the, hey, let's attack this 3-3-5 defense with a tight end, a little power running inside, which, you know, we talked about. Generally, that's a game plan towards defending these teams. Five defensive backs on the field. Let's see if they can hang in the middle of the field with a lot in the box and want to fight.
Love back in the game alongside DeVito on first down. DeVito throws, middle, caught, and a perfect pass. That'll be 10+ yards, another Illinois first down. That's Casey Washington.
Big target, Casey Washington, inside, just a slant. Caught him in the zone coverage. And you just get this feeling that Tommy DeVito is getting into a little bit of a rhythm.
Well, the first few drives of the game for Illinois didn't produce much. Their scoring drive was really impressive late in the first half. So you carry that over here into the second half. In this drive, you're right. DeVito throws and caught. No. The ball knocked out with the hit. It was in the hands of Ryman, the tight end, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, they had it, you know, split safeties, and they went right between them in the middle with the tight end, Ryman. And so there it is. Ryman's open, but couldn't hang on to it. A big hit by Jalen Green, and that's what you're taught defensively. Play isn't over just because the guy catches the ball. Go knock it out.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito knows that one was there for the taking. Instead, 2nd and 10. They give it to Williams. Williams just nowhere to go, even with all his quickness. Sherman Timms, Jet Johnson combined to get him to the ground.
He's like there's a neon sign with Williams. Every time he moves, the Mississippi State defense like, there he is, he's moving. Okay, let's get contained on him wherever he goes. We got to be, because he is dynamic.
That play lost a couple of yards. 3rd and 12.
Can't take a sack here. You still got a shot at a field goal. You don't pick up anything here, but you take a sack, you're out of field goal range.
10th play of the drive coming. Play clock winding down, and they just got the ball snapped, just barely. DeVito steps up, stumbles, and goes down. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Depends on where they spot him. I think he lost a couple yards.
What a
Crumedy got there.
Yeah, what a play by Crumedy. And you just, you know, look to the right side. Crumedy is engaged with the blocker and gets rid of him and makes the tackle and contained, forces the quarterback, Tommy DeVito, back inside. That's as good a defensive play as you'll get from a lineman.
Yeah, and that's why they're so excited that he's going to come back next year. Crumedy. DeVito a little frustrated. He thought the completion inside the 10. Now a 52-yard field goal try coming up for Caleb Griffin. A little bit of a high snap, the hold, the kick on the way, and good! That was impressive.
He's got some leg there, right? He might have made that from 55, 57. I mean, just get that thing over the bar. They got something going here. All of a sudden, we got points.
All right, the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T MegaCast on Monday, January 9th. We can't go through all the different options. You get a lot of ways to watch the National Championship game.
It is so much fun. I flip around. I'm looking forward to the Pat McAfee show, but
maybe he'll catch another kick beyond the goalpost. Did that the other night pretty impressively. got the hometown radio calls. Don't call ESPN and yell about a homer call if you listen to one of those channels.
But you should drop in on it for a moment to get the feel of it.
You should.
And then check in on the other one.
Caleb Griffin, who just made that field goal, switches jerseys for kickoff duty. That was the longest field goal an Illinois kicker's ever made in their bowl history. 52 yards to make it 10-3 Illini. And he booms one into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go to Kevin Negandhi in studio for an update.
Good afternoon, Dave. Checking in on the ESPN family of networks this afternoon. ABC, we got LSU all over Purdue in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Over on ESPN, Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, USC up 14-7 on Tulane. And that game featuring Heisman winner Caleb Williams, who just threw an INT to the Green Wave. Happy New Year to you guys. Back to you.
Okay, so lots going on across the world of college football. Rose Bowl still to come. We got Monday Night Football later tonight here in Tampa. This Mississippi State offense not used to this. Only 3 points on the board halfway through the third quarter. Now they commit a false start on their first play of this drive.
Think about the rest of the day that you have as a football fan.
It's a good day.
You get the Rose Bowl coming up, and then you got Monday Night Football following that. I mean, if I weren't here, I wouldn't be getting off my sofa.
And not just any Monday Night Football game, just a great game tonight. Very, very unusual for Mississippi State. One of the top scoring teams in the country, certainly one of the top passing teams. Just haven't gotten it going. And this has been a lot of the story. Will Rogers has had plenty of time. He's had nowhere to go with the ball. He bought some time there and finally found a receiver. Justin Robinson with the catch and a Mississippi State first down.
Yeah, you know, what's going on is that Illinois is mixing up their coverages. They've thrown more zone coverage against Mississippi State than they've probably done against any team. And I think it's confusing Will Rogers a bit.
Handoff on first down, and Marks ran into his quarterback, still somehow bounced outside and got close to midfield for 7 yards.
Yeah, on that back end, you see a safety playing 20 yards deep. You think, okay, well, this is going to be man coverage at most, maybe a 3D. But they shifted and they bring a second safety back to have two safeties to play a two-deep zone, and somehow Rogers isn't seeing that right away as quickly.
That's the running back, Jaquavius Marks, who is down. He's getting up, but we're still going to take our break here in Tampa. 10-3 Illinois. Back right after this. Well, we're back here in Tampa, and another reminder, FCS championship game, North Dakota State, South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits are actually the #1 seed this year, Sunday 2 Eastern on ABC. So before the FBS National Championship game on Sunday, get a chance to watch those two proud programs and rivals go head-to-head with a title on the line.
Always a fun game, a good watch. It's always been fun, you know, for us to be a part of those playoffs, the FCS.
You're right.
A lot of fun.
We were there last year for the FCS championship game in Frisco, Texas. North Dakota State, Montana State's quarterback went down early in that game, changed the whole game. North Dakota State rolled to their 9th national championship. 2nd and 3 here for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Still looking to get that offense going. Down 10-3, third quarter from Tampa. And Will Rogers will throw short right. That pass is caught by Tulu Griffin. And he gets the first down plus some extra yards at the end of the play.
I think this has been a pretty good debut for Aaron Henry as the defensive coordinator.
Really good.
For Illinois, taking over for Ryan Walters, who's now the new head coach at Purdue. You know, 34-year-old new defensive coordinator, was really excited. He's got a lot of personality too, man.
They were out recruiting when Brett Bielema told him officially he had the job, and Aaron Henry told us he burst into tears, and so did Brett, the head coach. They were both crying together.
He said it came full circle that Brett Bielema promised his grandmother, who raised him, and he was 17 years old, he'd be all right. He would take care of him. He'd get his degree, and he'd look after him. And 17 years later, he earned the right to be the defensive coordinator.
Big personality and a heck of a coach. Illinois thinks the transition is going to be seamless. Second down and 7, and there was some movement. That's going to be another false start.
Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Hey, Brett was in Aaron's house all those years ago when Aaron was a high school player here in Florida on the Gulf Coast, just a couple hours south of Tampa, Fort Myers area.
He says there have been a couple of times when Brett Bielema thought that he wasn't going to be able to hire him, that Brett burst into tears.
He's a crier. He doesn't look like it, but he is.
He is. Big teddy bear.
Second down and long after the penalty. Rodgers again has to check down. The catch and out of bounds. Simeon Price with Marks off the field for the moment. Price did get some positive yards there to set up third down.
Oh, the way that Aaron Henry is mixing up coverages is really working. You know, the previous play showed pressure and comes right back with a zone defense. And remember, he's got freshman corners out there. So he's doing enough, mixing enough to make sure that they are comfortable and confident.
Third down and 7. Rodgers pressured, throws, and he's got the completion. And right there at the mark, Justin Robinson, I think, has enough. That'll be a Mississippi State first down.
Yeah, that's a classic air raid route. The mesh, you have one receiver coming from the left side, another one coming from the right side, and open up the middle. Find the hole. That is a staple of the air raid offense. You hear people talk about the mesh route and air raid. That is it right there.
Little improv throw there from Will Rogers. Marks is back on the field for the Bulldogs on 1st and 10. Have not made it in the end zone yet in this bowl game. Rogers waiting. Throws to Marks. Catch down to the 25 and the 24 with his fall forward.
He's being a lot more patient, you know, after throwing a pick down in the red zone in the first half. He's being patient here, making sure he sees a guy wide open or taking the check down.
He's 7 for 7 in the second half, Will Rogers is. Those 2 interceptions. He had 6 all year coming into this bowl game. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 6. Rogers looked right, now looking back middle, and he will throw it incomplete. He did well to avoid the sack. That would have been a big loss.
Was that Randolph who was on him? I think it was 88 Randolph. And we keep talking about these 2 big guys on the edge, Newton and Randolph. You know, the law firm is the nickname they have. He fights through a couple of blockers and comes right up the middle. And there was no place for Rodgers to go. Big third down here.
That's a mean law firm.
It is. Mean, aggressive. I wonder what their bill rates would be.
You don't want to ask. Pressure team, the Illini. We'll see if they bring pressure here on third down. They do. Rodgers gets rid of it, and it's caught. In traffic. Nice catch by Wally. First down.
Tremendous timing on that play. And again, with inside leverage technique by the defender, you should not be able to get inside, but he ran this route so hard to the inside, there was no way for Bailey to cut him off. Tremendous route.
So that's a big pickup for Mississippi State.
That was such a good route.
10th play of this drive coming up for the Bulldogs. And it's a running play. Marks cuts it left and takes a hit. Gets down to the 11. And he's slow to get up again.
This has been a pretty hard-hitting game.
And it's got to be frustrating for Steve Spurrier Jr., who's calling the plays today. Mississippi State's not used to this.
No. No, they haven't had a chance to get the ball down the field. They've had very few opportunities to get yards after the catch.
Marks comes out of the game again. Receiver comes in motion. Rodgers is going to dump it short, and another big hit in the open field right at the line of scrimmage. J.J. Jernigan with the catch, but nowhere to go.
Hey, Matthew Bailey, his freshman, You know, Martin told us, look out for him. He's going to be something. Well, look at this. I mean, I love this tackle. Wrap him up. Too many guys try to block a guy down. He secures it, wraps him up. This guy can play. And Flynn, remember in the first half down here, Rodgers expected man. They gave him the picket fence, a lot of zone, eyes on the quarterback. Let's see if he recognizes it this time.
Play clock was all the way down to 1. Rodgers dancing around. Rodgers going to try to run for it. He dives forward and didn't get there. Stopped a couple yards short. Now a decision for the brand new head coach, Zach Arnett. You're down 7 late in the third quarter. I think he's going for it.
Wouldn't Mike Leach?
Mike would definitely be going for it.
And Mike would not call a running play. Now, Will Rodgers might. He might check to it. Steve Spurrier Jr. over there might call a pass play, but Rodgers will do what he thinks is best.
So the Bulldogs are going to use all the time here in between quarters. They're going to let the third quarter come to an end, go to the other end of the field, and get the perfect play call they hope for fourth down. When we come back, a very competitive, spirited game in Tampa. End of quarter number 3, 10-3 Illini. And welcome back to the ReliaQuest Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We go to the fourth quarter in Tampa, Florida. Mississippi State held out of the end zone all game on fourth down. First play of the quarter, 4th and 2.
Any question? Should they be trying a field goal?
No question. This is the right decision. The question is, can they convert? They need to. Will Rodgers. The Illini show some pressure. Rodgers, pressure really didn't come. He had a man left side. Didn't throw it to him to the back of the end zone. And caught for a touchdown. What a catch by Justin Robinson.
The weakness of that coverage is the back of the end zone. It's a picket fence. You can't get anything before there. You have to get the ball up and over the defense and to the back of the end zone. Did he get his right foot down?
That is a big question.
That is it. The right foot.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got some white shoe on some of the white edge. That's out of bounds.
Now, the heel was up.
Yeah, but when you leave the ground, the heel has to come down along with the foot.
I don't know.
That was close.
There's the first look. I was with you. This look makes it seem like he's out of bounds. The other looks to me make it seem possible that he kept that foot from actually hitting the out of bounds line.
Yeah, I believe that heel has to be on the ground, assumed to be on the ground, and would be out of bounds. Yeah, that heel actually touched there, didn't it?
I thought it did.
Yeah. Yeah. Now remember, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field.
I think he's in.
I would say I don't think it's clear. I don't think there's enough there to make a definitive change. Then again, you and I might have bad eyes, huh?
Well, this is the look that's sort of deceptive in a way.
Yeah.
Those other two, to me, you can almost see just a tiny sliver of green where the foot stays. This one in particular.
Yeah, I just think there's just not enough to be definitive about it. Because to me, on that look, it looked like his heel did touch and that he was in bounds.
I mean, it's a hugely impactful call. It's either touchdown, extra point away from a tie game, or turnover on downs. Yeah. Illinois gets the ball back, no points.
Yeah. And tremendous recognition by Will Rodgers about the defense, where the weakness was on it, and delivering the ball to Justin Robinson in really the only place he could go with the football.
The whole reason to have replay is for a play like this. This is a massive play in this game. The limitation of replay is even with all the technology, the great cameras we have, you can't always tell.
Well, and the standard is supposed to be that the replay officials are not substituting their judgment. as to what they would have called. They need to see, clear evidence to change the call. So those are different standards, not what they would have called. It is, do you have enough in the replays to overturn the call?
All right, let's see what the call is.
The ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, that makes sense. I never saw a definitive look that said you could overturn it.
What a great play by Justin Robinson.
Yeah.
13 plays, 75 yards, and the very first touchdown of the game for Mississippi State on the first play of the fourth quarter. On fourth down, the extra point is up, and it is good.
Can you imagine what Will Rogers will do with another year of football?
His numbers are going to be monstrous.
He's already over, 10,000 yards passing?
Over 10,000, close to another 4,000-yard season again today. Still has a chance to get there.
Let's assume he has a normal season to under normal from maybe 3,000 yards, 3,500, not the 4,000. That's still crazy. And you saw that again against that defense. The right play is the back of the end zone, and they executed it perfectly.
Justin Robinson's having a heck of a game. 7 catches, 81 yards, and now that first Bulldogs touchdown to tie it up in the fourth quarter.
Well, somebody had to step up because it's been difficult for Tulu Griffin to get the ball and get loose, and he's been their playmaker a lot.
See, now I think that's smart. You're a younger wide receiver. You make a catch like that, go sit right next to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Just remind him how impressive that play was. Good kick coverage for the Bulldogs. Illinois will get the ball back. Game now tied 10-10. Tonight it is Monday night. It is Monday Night Football. It might be the game of the year in the NFL. One of them for sure. The Bills at the Bengals in Cincinnati, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, on ABC, on ESPN2, on the app. Two of the very best, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had a 5,000-yard season in college for LSU.
LSU, yeah. So if you're starting a team, which quarterback do you take?
Oh, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
Those two are way up on the list. I still think Patrick Mahomes is probably the answer, probably. Those two guys are really good. DeVito slings one out to the left side. That's Casey Washington with the catch for the Illini.
I like this adjustment for Illinois. First down passes, much better than the game plan in the first half of grinding it into the middle. The first down pass gives them a second down and short. It's a good change.
Second and a long 2. Last 2 real full drives for the Illini. They've moved the ball well. Trying to keep that offensive rhythm going. On 2nd and 2, handoff left side. Love changes directions. Now a penalty flag thrown. This one's coming back.
Yeah, this defensive line guessed correctly and slanted to the right side. That's where the ball was going.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
Jordan Slaughter playing a lot today. Cy Chrysler, the right guard, has been a little banged up for the Illini coming into this game. And Slaughter looked like he was hurting as he got up after committing that penalty.
It makes it even more impressive what we've seen from Palczewski, the right tackle. 6-year, 64 starts
today? I think today is 65.
Yeah, ties a record for the most starts.
65 starts for the Illini All-American right tackle. DeVito in the pocket. DeVito buying some time. Tommy DeVito now running for the sideline and ducks out of bounds. More great coverage from Mississippi State down the field.
And now you got a big third down. And we've seen,
by the way, you were mentioning him.
Yeah. And I don't think he's given up a sack all season. He hasn't given up one today.
65 games started.
He protects that right side. Big third down. You might get some pressure here. Although Mississippi State is showing a too high defense, like they would likely be in zone coverage.
DeVito On 3rd and 12, right across the middle, and the pass is complete to Griffin Moore, a tight end who has not played a whole lot this year. We figured he was going to get on the field in this game with no Luke Ford. That's a first down, Illinois.
Smart recognition of the too high defense with the safety split. Get right in behind the linebackers. That is the weakness of that coverage. Nicely done.
The Illini love their tight ends.
Well, they keep running them down the middle. Whenever they get that too deep zone, they'll get a lot of real estate.
Well, that's a huge conversion for DeVito in Illinois. Now a play fake on first down. More pressure. DeVito smartly threw it away. And Jaden Crumedy is unhappy that he didn't find a way to sack the quarterback.
Oh, he went for the fake. He went for the pump fake. You know, what do they tell basketball players? Stay on your feet. Do not jump when you get the pump fake. He saw the pump fake. He went for it.
That guy is a dude.
See? So he's mad at himself for buying into the pump fake.
I think he's going to have a big year next year.
No doubt.
Missed a lot of time. Missed 8 games this year with a wrist injury. Otherwise, he'd probably be getting ready for the NFL draft right now.
Agreed.
DeVito, pressure was picked up, going deep left side, and incomplete, knocked away. Green had the coverage on Isaiah Williams.
And, you know, we wanted to see them take more shots, and you're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Preston, number 12. He's a safety. At the end of the play, after it's over, he went through sort of a spanking motion. And the official threw the flag.
Is that an official term?
Yeah.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Mississippi State, number 12. 15-yard penalty.
You'll see he shows up.
That's number 12.
So the Mutombo did not get the penalty.
No, it wasn't the Mutombo. It was after that when Preston showed up and did the spanking motion. And I think that was the taunting part of it.
So that's huge. It was going to be 3rd and 10.
Now see, here comes Preston over, and that's it. That's the one.
I mean, I get it, but
keep the flag in your pocket.
That
right?
doesn't seem too extreme.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in his face.
So first down, Illinois. DeVito will throw. That was a nifty throw. Penalty flags in the backfield, though. That's going to be another hold against the Illini. The pass was complete.
Holding, offense, number 66.
Yeah, Slaughter's having a rough time.
First down.
That's Slaughter again on the hold. And again, that push up front, you know, has been a real problem.
It's started to pick up now even more.
Yeah, and he's up against Young, 93. And then switches over and has a heck of a time dealing with Jordan Davis.
And I think that's Randy Charlton. I don't think Jordan Davis has come back in the game.
I think you're right.
Now, Randy Charlton's a good player. UCF transfer, had one of the big plays of the year for Mississippi State. That one is complete, but a big hit right after the catch. That's Emmanuel Forbes. Now, Brett Bielema is yelling about a targeting possibility.
Forbes is known for his ability to get the picks. It's a big hit there. I don't think that was targeting. Didn't look like the crown of the helmet.
I don't either. So they don't stop the play. Instead, it's 2nd down and 17 coming up for Illinois. Tommy DeVito. And DeVito gets swallowed up. Back close to the 30. Cameron Young and friends were all there.
Oh, Mississippi State is just not fair. They are targeting and going after Slaughter. They brought that stunt right at him. And, man, that was a lot to try and deal with. Just look at the right side. Look at what they bring. Numbers to that side. Palczewski does his job on the outside, but it's inside. They could not hold up against those numbers, and Young in particular.
And Slaughter actually did a pretty decent job considering the chaos.
Just numbers, yeah.
You're right. It was just an overmatch. 5th sack for the Bulldogs. 3rd and forever. DeVito pressured. Another flag. Incomplete. And I think that may be another hold against Illinois. Although Zach Arnett, he's not looking real happy here.
Holding. Defense.
Wow.
Number 5. 10-yard penalty. Automatic.
That's an automatic. It was 3rd and 26.
That's why he's upset.
He is really upset.
I mean, they were pushing Illinois back, and then, well, that's a takedown hold on Reggie Love. Reggie Love was probably trying to sneak out the backfield, and he got tackled essentially.
Yeah, so I think that was the right call.
Yeah.
Randy Charlton grabbed him there and turned him around.
Yeah, he prohibited him from getting out to catch a pass. It's the right call.
That's a big, big mistake. That's 2 huge penalties on this drive against Mississippi State. Now the run play just nowhere to go for Reggie Love.
Well, in that 3rd down play, you are so far ahead of them with the chains. There's no reason to reach and grab the back. Let him get out and catch it and tackle him. No first down.
Zach Arnett calling the defense as the head coach here today. He thinks that'll change in the offseason. Probably a little too much to handle. A little wide receiver screen for Illinois and a missed tackle out of the open field. Isaiah Williams again. Man, is he so good at that. And he got right to the first down mark. They're going to spot him for 12 yards and an Illinois first down.
He was first in the Big Ten in yards after the catch. 4th overall in FBS. And you can see why.
By the way, you see that pop up. Georgia TCU. That's next Monday, a week from today. National championship game presented by AT&T. 7:30 Eastern is when our coverage begins.
Can't wait.
It is a fascinating matchup. Total underdog team TCU. The powerhouse Georgia. On first down, the Illini. DeVito will look to scramble. Ran into his own offensive lineman and then gets sacked. Another sack for the Bulldogs.
I mean, if you're Mississippi State, you're looking at this drive and you're going, we've played well. We've had 2 penalties that allowed Illinois to stay on the field. You know, the taunting penalty and the holding gave them more life.
Charlton comes back on the field now. He made that. He committed that penalty. That was a huge mistake, as good as he's been. Second and 12. DeVito will just throw it into the ground. His tight end was covered. They were set up maybe for some sort of screen or something, but Tommy DeVito just tried to live to see another play.
Well, and Sherman Timms, 34, was standing right with the tight end for the tight end screen, so there was no place to go with it. Good decision to throw the ball away. I mean, right now, that Mississippi State front, they own the line of scrimmage.
Illinois is not used to that. As the game goes on, they count on their big guys up front to wear down the defense. It's almost the opposite. Another 3rd and long. Pressure comes up the middle. The throw down the right sideline. Incomplete. That was Williams out there, the intended receiver. And I think no flags. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that pressure threw everything off. No time for DeVito to set his feet and throw that ball out there. He had Williams, but the pressure made that impossible for him to deliver a good ball. That's a long foul ball. You'd like to give a guy a chance, but he just really didn't have the time.
So from near midfield, 4th and 12. Nearing 8 minutes to go in this game. Illinois has a couple different punters. This one is fair, caught inside the 10 by Griffin. So the Bulldogs will get the ball back. A long way to go to try to take the lead in Tampa in this ReliaQuest Bowl.
No, I mean, there's going to be adversity. That's why they have a football game in the first place, to create adversity and see who comes through it. And, so the way you come through it is you have the discipline to do your job more times in a row than the guy across from you. So that's what we got to do.
Now, Rod, that seems like a very fitting soundbite from Mike Leach. We're all missing him today, that's for sure. His quarterback, Will Rogers, comes on the field with 8:09 to go. It's not been easy for Will today. 2 interceptions. He only had 6 all year. Long field in front, but a tie game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and he's trying to overcome that adversity of the 2 picks in the first half and to get another drive going.
Facing one of the very best defenses in the country. The Illini show pressure, quick hitter across the middle, and that's Wally who makes the catch out to about the 15.
We talk about adversity, and Zach Arnett, the new head coach at Mississippi State, has been through it. This is his debut game. He actually got a phone call from Pat Fitzgerald, Northwestern head coach, who took his job under similar circumstances years ago.
What a whirlwind it's been for everybody under very adverse conditions. The penalty flag. Now, there was some movement pre-snap. We'll see what the penalty is. As of right now, that's price for a first down, Mississippi State. It might be that Illinois was offside.
Yes.
Offside. Defense number 4. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Yeah, there you see the jump on the right side. But Pat Fitzgerald was a 31-year-old assistant coach at Northwestern. And Randy Walker, the head coach, passed away from a heart attack. And Pat Fitzgerald took over. And he's been there ever since. And he reached out to Zach Arnett a few days ago to let him know he could share his experience and maybe offer some advice.
Yeah, Zach's looking forward to having that conversation with Pat at some point. Handoff after the longest run play of the game. Now another long one for the Bulldogs out to the 45. So another Mississippi State first down nearing midfield. Let's go down on the field to Tiffany.
Guys, there's no one this program would rather have lead them through adversity than Coach Zach Arnett. It was him that told the players when Coach Leach passed, and the staff members were telling me he has brought stability to this program and been solid for them during a really hard time.
Really hard.
He was trying hard to stay focused yesterday, wasn't he?
He was. First and 10, Mississippi State. And another run play here. That's Smart trying to leap over defenders. He gets to midfield. Barnes kind of upended him. The most successful run plays of the game for Mississippi State right here in this sequence.
Yeah, a little movement, pulling the linemen a little bit instead of going right at this front. Again, this front with Newton and Randolph and Avery, it's tough to run inside against them, tough to run right at them.
Mississippi State only had 41 rush yards all game on this drive. They already have 36. Rogers throws and caught. Just a perfect delivery to Harvey. First down into Illini territory.
How about that throw? I mean, that's your NFL throw. I mean, he's almost at 1 hash mark and throws us to the opposite sideline on the money. No question about his arm strength.
Will's inching closer to 4,000 yards for the season. Whether he has enough time and opportunity in this game to get there, we'll see. Inside the 40 of Illinois, and the snap hits somebody on the way back. Never made it to the quarterback, and Rogers did well to fall on the ball. I don't know if the center, Quinston Sharp, snapped it, or he just sort of lost the ball.
Yep, never got going.
I thought maybe it hit his own leg or something like that. You're right. It just never. Quinston Sharp, really good player in the middle of the Mississippi State offensive line. He's looking down at his hand. Find some equipment to blame. Find something.
Exactly. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Rogers needs 55 yards to get to the 4,000 mark for the season.
Shotgun snap, 2nd and 12, incomplete. Trying to hit ducking across the middle. Now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that deep post pattern is a problem especially when you have Kendall Smith, the safety, sitting there at 20 yards looking for that. I'm always amazed at the teams that play their safety that deep. I like it because it doesn't leave the middle open, and it gives that safety the ability to close on balls and to help the corners, because the ball will have to be in the air longer since they're playing an inside technique. So I like it, but hey, you attack that by going outside.
Third down. Rodgers pass tipped and falls incomplete.
Is that the third or fourth tip?
Yeah. Been a huge factor in this game. So the Illinois third official tip at the line of scrimmage. Now 4th and 12, and the Bulldogs are going to have to punt.
Yeah, and this is Randolph, 6'5", gets that arm up. He was a heck of a basketball player in high school too, so he knows how to get up there.
And by your theory of the billable hours, that's $1,000 for that play right there.
Yeah, very much so. Every 6 minutes you bill.
Spoken from the perspective of an actual lawyer. 4th and 12. The punt goes into the end zone. So that was not perfect execution by the special teams of Mississippi State. It's a touchback. 4:34 to go. Tie game 10-10. Illini have the ball right after this.
The ReliaQuest Bowl is brought to you by ReliaQuest. Make security possible.
Well, some all-time greats have been MVPs of this bowl. We had to get David Pollock in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
MVP of this bowl back in 2005. Sean Green, great Iowa running back. Melvin Gordon, one of the all-time Wisconsin Badger greats. Tyrone Wheatley, Drew Brees. Drew Brees was the MVP even though Purdue lost that game. That's how well he played.
Well, he did some Hall of Fame stuff at Purdue.
Coach Drew Brees now, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right, Illini get the ball back. 1st and 10, 4:34 to go. Drama here in Tampa. Tie game. Starting from the 20. Handoff Reggie Love. And Love shows some quickness because that looked like that might be a negative play. Instead, he got to the hole and made a nice gain of 6 yards.
Oh, he talked about how he's got that drive. He's hard to tackle, built low to the ground, keeps his legs moving. And that was the first run play on first down in a while for them. They've gone 12 out of 16 run plays, first downs, have been pass plays lately.
That was a positive one. 2nd and 4. DeVito throws, and that one is caught. Breaking to the middle. Casey Washington, first down Illini.
They're looking at this drive and thinking this might be the game-winning drive for them, because you can't be assured that you'll get another possession.
They have a field goal kicker who's kicked a 52-yarder already today. An Illinois Bowl record. And I think Brett Bielema was thinking along your lines, hey, well, there's no reason for us to hurry. They want this to be the last possession, period.
Exactly. Just don't throw the ball the way of number 13.
Play fake. DeVito, pressured, goes down. Jet Johnson quickly into the backfield. He told us, man, my name is not fitting because I'm slow. He didn't look slow on that play.
No, he read this perfectly. And you know what? He says, I am not going to get caught up inside. I'm coming from the edge. And Watson destroyed the back that tried to pick him up. Again, numbers, more guys than they can block.
Third in the SEC this year in total tackles. He's leading the Bulldogs in tackles in this game, and that's a big play.
Cool name, Jet, huh?
Great name. He just says it's just not perfect for me because, in his words, I'm slow. He's playing a heck of a bowl game here today. DeVito across the middle. That pass is caught by Williams in traffic. Tackled at around the 37. I think that's where forward progress will be, so it'll be third down.
Well, if you had a question about his arm strength, that one answered it. He had to drill that one across the middle, and he did.
Huge play here, 3rd and 6.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of room to get that ball in for Williams, but he does perfectly.
And Williams helped his quarterback out, too, coming back to get that ball. Now timeout. Illinois calls a timeout.
Illinois.
The biggest play of the game coming up right here. Tie game late in the fourth from Tampa. Right after this, we'll be back. Later this afternoon, Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential. Number 11 Penn State, number 8 Utah, 5 Eastern on ESPN and on the app. And if you can't catch the beginning, don't miss late third quarter, early fourth quarter. There's nothing like it.
Not a better setting in all the sports.
Nothing like it. Sun starts to go down around 4:30. And really, truly, there is no scene like the Rose Bowl.
Setting over those mountains.
Here in Tampa, different setting, excellent game. Spirited game, 10-10, 3rd and 6 out of the timeout. For the Illini, Tommy DeVito playing his final college game. Takes the shotgun snap, pressure was picked up. He throws incomplete, too high. Trying to hit Isaiah Williams, and I think he had him.
He did. Had him matched up against the safety, Preston, which is the matchup they wanted, which is why they put him in trips formation. He's the third receiver in, matched up on a safety. They saw that right away, and let's go after him. Just too much on the ball.
So 4th down, big stop for the Bulldogs defense. And now Mississippi State, barring a special teams disaster, is going to get the ball back. An angled punt. And a fair catch. No fair catch signal around the 20. That's where the Bulldogs will have it. With 1:50 to go here in Tampa. 10-10 is the score.
Big possession.
Really big for Mike Leach's old team. In honor of the coach, we did, he always teased us. Why do you guys wear ties? And as soon as you said that, we thought, why are we wearing ties today? It's Mike Leach's day.
We're honoring Mike Leach, no ties.
And I think the Bulldogs would love nothing more, Rod, than to honor their coach who passed away so suddenly and unexpectedly 3 weeks ago today with a game-winning drive here in this bowl game.
Well, they've made it clear that winning this game would be their way of truly honoring Coach Leach.
Rodgers throws, and that pass is caught left sideline, and Griffin turns it upfield to make a pretty short pass into a nice gain all the way out to the 40.
You just knew that this game would come down to Mississippi State having the ball, a chance to win in a stadium that has a pirate ship.
With Will Rogers, who Mike Leach just loved. One of his great quarterbacks in a litany of great quarterbacks that he coached. Handoff out to the 45. Clock is moving. Mississippi State has all 3 of their timeouts, and they're going to use one here.
Mississippi State, they're first. Please put the game clock to 1:30.
Clock management. They've got 2 timeouts left, plenty of time.
All right, so a full timeout. Don't go anywhere. 1:30 to go. Bulldogs on the move. Tie game back after this. Forget on the ESPN app after the game, ReliaQuest Bowl trophy presentation. Our coverage begins immediately following the game. Drama here in Tampa, tie game 10-10. Mississippi State at their own 45. 2nd and 5 with 1:30 to go and 2 timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs. Will Rogers throws middle. That pass is caught. It'll be a first down into Illinois territory. That's Wally again.
They caught Illinois in a drop 8 rush 3 and just took the yardage in front of the linebackers. Very smart. You got plenty of time. A lot of patience being shown by Rogers.
Will Rogers 26 more yards for a 4,000-yard passing season. No SEC quarterback has ever done it twice. He did it last year. If he does it here in this one, you figure Bulldogs have a great chance to win. A pitch play, and that was nifty down the left sideline. That'll be a first down, and then out of bounds, Simeon Price.
Well, we talked about Rogers checking to run plays at the line of scrimmage, recognized the pressure from inside, and got to the edge outside of the freshman linebacker, Akis.
5th play of the drive coming up here. Clock stops at 59 seconds. Handoff straight ahead and a little hole. That one, Price got down to the 30. Gets tackled there. Bulldogs letting the clock for now keep winding down.
I don't feel like this is comfortable field goal range for them.
I don't think
yet.
so. Their field goal kicking has not been totally reliable this year. But they are being very conservative here in terms of letting the time wind off. And Illinois is not saving any of it either. You can't blame them for that. Pressure picked up. Rogers over the top, left sideline, incomplete, knocked away. Trying to hit Tulu Griffin.
I tell you, these corners, these freshmen have been outstanding. Tyler Strain on the coverage there. Remember, Devin Witherspoon, everything corner, is not playing today. And these freshmen are in there doing a terrific job. I mean, they haven't had Taz Nicholson for most of the latter part of the season. Terrell Jennings, two other really good corners, and Witherspoon out.
And I'm with you here about the distance. If they don't get any more yards, this is not anywhere close to a comfortable field goal. Handoff straight ahead, and a burst for a first down and more. Stiff arm inside the 5. Simeon Price, what a run. And now timeout with the clock showing 12 seconds, 28 yards.
Wow, Simeon Rice has not been Simeon Price has not been the go-to guy, but you see a little pull of one guard. He gets in behind there and just goes straight up. Runs through a couple tackles. What a run. Wow. Tremendous little counter action.
So now Will Rogers over on the sideline talking things over, I think, with his young head coach. Bulldogs in position to win this game without going to overtime. 12 seconds on the clock. What a drive. And mixing it up, not just slinging it through the air.
Yeah, they had the patience to recognize that they could run it and not worry about throwing it or taking a sack. You got 12 seconds now. You have a timeout. You can run another play. How much confidence do you have in just setting it up for your field goal kicker as opposed to trying to get the touchdown?
All the qualities that Mike used to talk about with his quarterback, you can see him on display here. Calm, pressure moments, taking charge. He's the one explaining the scenarios to his team. He wants everybody to be clear about what the objective is here.
Nothing more important than ball security right here for Mississippi State. We have seen some fumbles on the goal line in this bowl season.
Get things positioned. Now, they only have the one timeout, so Illinois, we'll see if Mississippi State and Rogers maybe moves the ball to the middle of the field and then sets up for a game winner. Rogers does that and now takes a knee, and now a hit after the play. I may have been as much of a flop as a real hit. Rogers hit the deck. 7 seconds on the clock. Now some shoves. Mississippi State, and Rogers immediately gets in the middle and tells his guys, get out of the way. We do not want a penalty.
No, they got a chance to line up for what is a PAT to win the game.
Mississippi State, their third and final. 30 seconds.
Yeah, not a lot of contact there. Good no call, I think. So the final timeout for the Bulldogs. And Will Rogers and some of his big guys up front. That's Cole Smith, who's been around a long time, this Mississippi State program.
Didn't it seem like it was destined to come down to a final drive with Mike Leach's quarterback, the only freshman to ever start for him, now a 3-year starter, to have a chance at a game-winning drive?
So it'll be Massimo Biscardi. And now Illinois is going to use one, and who knows, maybe they'll use another timeout. Although you might preserve it just in case. I mean, you assume the field goal is going to go in. You might have a chance to use a timeout at the very end of the game. One play and a quick timeout, something like that.
I think Brett Bielema is leaning towards, let's ice him again.
I would imagine that's probably true.
How about making your debut as a head coach? And you get to deal with a game-winning drive, making tough decisions.
Well, they couldn't have managed it. You got to give a lot of credit to the experienced quarterback, Will Rogers. Couldn't have managed the drive much better than they did. Now Will has to watch. Biscardi. And Illinois will use that final timeout. This is officially going to be a 27-yard try.
Their third and final. 30 seconds.
Biscardi was the primary kicker early in the year and lost his job and really lost it because of kicks like this. He missed a couple extra points in a game. I think that was the Arizona game.
Yeah.
And they switched kickers, ultimately won the job back, was very solid, made a huge pressure kick late in the game against Auburn.
Well, we call it a gimme, but Mississippi State fans know a little better. They're not comfortable yet.
No, not yet. No more timeouts, so now we got a kick from 27 yards for the lead. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. And we don't even need to say it, what Will Rogers is thinking about right now after that kick went through.
Yep. There's a pirate smiling.
It has not been a classic Mike Leach style game. 13-10, field goals deciding it. But for Mississippi State, the end result.
It's the grittiness, the toughness, the mental toughness, that final drive that he'd appreciate.
We played that soundbite from Coach Leach about adversity and why this game exists. Test these players. First time the Bulldogs have led all game with 4 seconds to go. Tiffany's down on the sideline getting ready, hoping to have a chance to talk to Will Rogers, get his thoughts on this game today.
Well, you know what's coming now. Lateral the ball as many times as you need to. Keep it alive.
And they're going to go down instead of that. So now with 3 seconds, you're going to have to do something funky no matter what.
Yeah.
You don't have enough time to throw one down the field and get a timeout call. This is essentially going to be the final play of the game.
Well, it's the lateral play delayed.
Yeah.
1 second.
So Illinois like their chances better on a traditional offensive play. Tommy DeVito be his final snap as a college quarterback.
I love this. The Mississippi State defensive backs are back at the 10-yard line and the 20-yard line waiting for something to come their way.
Yeah, there they are. Now that's some prevent defense.
Yeah. Nothing's getting behind them.
DeVito throws short. They'll pitch it back. Here's Williams, so dangerous in the open field. He's going to throw it backwards. That's well executed. Ball pops up in the air. Still a chance. Another lateral. Now it's the quarterback, DeVito. He throws it backwards. It's going to hit the turf. Scooped up by the Bulldogs. And they're going to go the other way. A touchdown. Marcus Banks on the final play of the game to cap off this win. Oh, my goodness.
You got to be kidding me.
And now we got a fight on the field, the very last thing we wanted after a heck of a game. There were penalty flags on the field. Presumably the touchdown's going to count, which obviously is a pretty big deal to a lot of people. It's 19-10 as your final score. for a while, that was about as good as you could execute a lateral play to get down the field.
Yeah, it looked like they had a shot at it if they could have gotten the ball to Williams one more time, but a little short and
Please
a
return
great
to your bench
pickup
area. Please
by
return to your
Banks.
bench area.
All right, I think we got to calm down now.
That's too bad. Too bad that you have that at the end of the game, which was a really hard-fought, well-played game.
Really.
And a tremendous drive at the end by Mississippi State.
And for Illinois, a disappointing finish to a great year. Illini have a lot to be proud of. This was the last play. It was pretty exciting for a while.
Yeah, and Williams is the guy that you think if there's anyone who can break it, he's the one. He gets the ball back, and they're trying to get it back to him one last time. You see him come back on the field,
After
and
the
this
change
is
of
when
possession,
you try to get the ball to him, but he couldn't throw it all the way to him. That was DeVito that couldn't get it to him.
The play is a touchdown, Mississippi State, and the game is over.
All right, so you heard that in the background while we watched that craziness. There was an illegal block.
Yeah, that
touchdown stands.
That last score,
19-10 final,
made some people happy and others pretty unhappy.
So Zach Arnett, his first game as a head coach, and he's victorious. Brett Bielema, close friend of Mike Leach. I give both teams credit, not just Mississippi State, Illinois, for honoring Coach Leach all throughout this lead up to this ReliaQuest Bowl. First 9-win season for Mississippi State since 2017. First win in the head coaching career of Zach Arnett.
And the way that programs across college football also honored Mike Leach. It was great to see, and tells you how much Mike Leach meant to, college football.
Nobody started more coaching careers in the last generation of coaches than Mike. He's got folks all over the country coaching this sport that he loves so much, who have been influenced so much by him.
The other thing he did was he opened the door for coaches who did not play college football. He himself did not play. Sonny Dykes didn't play. Lincoln Riley didn't play. These are all guys that he helped get a start, and they were not college football players.
Well, in the middle of all that down there, Tiffany is still trying to make her way to the quarterback, Will Rogers, to get his thoughts after this Bulldogs win. 19-10, the final score. 9th win of the year for the 22nd ranked team out of the SEC. Illinois started off great, finished not quite as positively, but still a lot to be proud of for the Illini.
Yeah, you think about that Mississippi State season, and they lost games that you would expect to Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. The loss to Kentucky, one that they probably felt they should have had. But what a heck of a season.
Manuel Forbes played in this game, got hurt briefly, came back in. He's off to the NFL draft. There's Will. All right, we found him. He's here still.
Will, come back for the interview.
He's coming back to Starkville for another year of college football. He told us that. He wants the bowl hat.
Yeah, he announced it in a very understated way. He just said to us, yeah, I'm coming back. I haven't really
You guys can announce it, but I'm not going to make any sort of announcement. But he gave us permission to say he's coming back. All right, we got to get him to where we're set up. Where's Will?
Oh, where's Tiffany? There they are.
Yeah.
There's a connection.
What a couple days for Tiff down on the field. And I think she's ready to go with our Capital One Player of the Game, Will Rogers.
Well, this team fighting to come back to win. You guys told me how much you wanted to win this one for Coach Leach. What would he make of the way you all responded today?
He probably wouldn't be too happy with me. With me, first of all, he'd probably be pretty upset. But, I think it's a good thing we have going here. It wasn't our best game at all. I didn't play my best game by any means. But, I think it says a lot about myself, my character, our team's character, that we just found ways to win. Yeah, so that's just what tough teams do. When you got guys like Caleb Ducking and Rufus, it makes my job a whole lot easier. So couldn't be proud of this team.
How proud are you of the way you guys navigated the rest of this season with the passing of your coach and how challenging that was?
It's been tough. Coach and I were so close, and to lose a coach like that, to lose a friend like that, it hurt me for a really long time, and it will continue to hurt. But, to be able to come out here with this group of guys, my brothers, I can't say enough about this team and this university.
I hear you getting a little choked up, understandably so. Does it feel like you can finally kind of let out a sigh of relief now after this game?
Yeah, no, I definitely wanted to win this game for Coach. I think we all did. I don't think if we came out here and really lost the game, and I don't think Coach would have been too happy with us. So, I think it says a lot about our team, and it says a lot about these individuals and coaches that were able to stick together and, come out with a win. 9 wins.
9 wins. Congratulations,
Thanks,
Will.
man. You have a good one.
Thank you, too.
Thank you, Tiffany. That's an impressive young man right there, Will Rogers. He'll grab the Mike flag now and go visit with the Mississippi State fans. An inspirational win.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's really what it was. A guy who will never be forgotten by any of us who were ever around, Mike Leach. Missed, yes. Forgotten, no.
Love the flag. Love the pirate ship.
There was no better setting for this tribute game to Mike than here in Tampa. Well, for all of us, our great crew, led by Joe Taylor and Mike Griffin, for Rod Gilmore, for Tiffany Blackman, Dave Fleming saying so long. Still got the Rose Bowl, still got Monday Night Football coming up later today on ESPN. We're going over to the app for the trophy ceremony now.